Hello everyone and welcome back. We are just about ready to go here with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze 100%.
Hundo!
Woo!
Yeah! Yay.
So yeah, go ahead and introduce yourselves, give me a countdown, however you feel like doing it. I'm all ready for you.
Alright, we can just introduce ourselves during the level, I think.
Sounds good.
Well, yeah, you want to just go for it?
Yep.
Alright, I'll go 3, 2, 1. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Sweet.
Nice.
Kruncha, introduce yourself.
Alright, so yeah, I'm Kruncha. I'll be doing this Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze 100% run, also known as the Trap Hundo.
The trap.
And our commentators.
Yeah, I'm DKS.
I'm not so newbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're also runners of the game.
I'm Ozzy. I run the marathon, and I played this game once in a 12-hour challenge, and I missed playing it.
And DKS is the world record holder for this game. For both categories of this game, but for Hundo specifically. And yeah, he's put in a lot of work over the last year, routing and just getting really, really good at the game. So hopefully I can do it justice. Not quite as good as he is.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's a marathon run. So yeah, what is Hanjo about, Nubi?
Hundo is about every level in the game. And unlike any percent, there's a couple extra little things you grab in Hundo, as you noticed. Right away, you'll notice he grabbed some Kong letters. And the Kong letters unlock the secret levels. You also have to do some extra secret exits. You have to play a couple levels twice. You have to take a couple different exits sometimes in order to actually nail every level in the world. So that's pretty much Hundo. You get to do cool stuff like the K levels, which are notoriously difficult. And you get to do...
this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Off to a good start here. Threw this penguin the wrong direction, so...
You can use that barrel, actually, maybe. Well, too late.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do the hard K levels, and you also do the Secret World 7 as well. So there's actually a lot of variety in this, which is cool. If you've seen 80%, you know kind of what Hundo's about at this point.
Yeah, and the question I always get is why don't you collect puzzle pieces? And that's simply because the game doesn't count that towards the percent. It only counts as completing all levels, like can you be said?
Right, there's an in-game percentage counter we follow for 100%. So
Oh,
that's
right.
where the category comes from.
There is a puzzle percent, and yeah, that's about as far as we'll go on that.
And if you want to see puzzle percent runs, then you should check out Michael Goldfish, former 80% world record holder's stream in like half a year or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, in about half a year.
I think he's halfway through the game right now, like routing it. But yeah, so puzzle pieces don't mean anything in this. Really, it's just Kong letters are the only extra thing in the levels you're going to be grabbing.
And
what's cool-
about that,
yeah.
the game actually doesn't even technically count the Kong letters as the part of the percentage, but we have to get them because they unlock the levels. So only the levels
Exactly.
actually count for the percentage.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's like,
you,
okay, if we found some way to open all the levels without getting all the Kong letters, then we would do that.
Exactly. You saw how Kruncha grabbed, like, kinda awkwardly that K onto one. It's a lot easier if you start with Dixie, but
Just calling him out.
Kruncha considers that cheating, so he starts with one player.
Heavy cheats.
Yeah, there are
But yeah,
two
we can
different
start with the two
community as far as that goes.
I never seem to have batteries for my Wii remote, so I never did the controller start.
So this is the first big departure from the 80% route that you'll see. So we picked up the G on the right side, and then we had to backtrack just a little bit to get to the secret exit so that we can open up 1A, the first secret level.
Right, World 1 actually works pretty well for 100% because you can just go to the secret exit up a couple levels, and you only have to play all the levels once, so you just go straight through each level. So the path is kind of set up pretty nicely in World 1. It gets weirder in the next couple of worlds, though.
Oh yeah, you'll see.
Yeah, you have to do some levels multiple times to hit all the exits. The other cool thing about 100% is you get to kind of reroute some of the levels you worked on. So 80% levels work a bit differently, obviously, because you have to collect the K letters or the Kong letters. So you end up having to reroute a bunch of sections. Maybe use different Kongs in some levels. So there's a lot of variety. Actually gets mixed up pretty well.
Yeah. So this is the first level that is not actually on the 80% route, and I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty straightforward. You just roll and jump. There's not much. And you're introduced to these vines.
Oh my god. Alright. Okay. Oh my god. Okay.
You got it? Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's fine.
These vines are pretty much like kind of outer-scroller sections within the level itself, but they're still pretty fast. I'm pretty sure it's like the same speed as rolling, so it doesn't like look slow or whatever.
Yeah, there isn't really any way to speed up the vines, though, so you just have to kind of ride them out. But there are some ways to skip some vines, so we utilize that a little bit as well in Hundo.
Yeah.
In this specifically.
Also, well, besides the fact that this level gives you Dixie is, I'm pretty sure, the only choice here because of the large gaps.
Yeah,
You might be able to cross them, but I'm not sure actually.
Yeah. With Dixie at least is above water, strictly better than Diddy anyway. So anytime you would be using Diddy above water, you'd probably just want Dixie instead anyway. Her flutter gives you the same horizontal distance that Diddy's does as well. Plus you get some vertical height as well with Dixie. So
You'd have to wait for that swinging vine to swing back over the barrel without Dixie, but you can just hair spin over to it.
Right.
And actually, in general, in Hundo runs, Dixie gets a lot more play than she does in any tournament where it's pretty much just a cranky fest.
It really helps that she can help get to those really tricky, out-of-reach K letters.
Exactly.
Right, and a bunch of the... Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that it's a shame that Gould isn't here to commentate because he's the president of the Dixie fan club.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Japan right now.
So yeah, hey Gould.
Gould, if you're watching right now, you still owe me.
Yeah.
Okay, forget Dixie. She's done now. It's cranky time. Anyway, back to normal Tropical Freeze gameplay. Pogos.
Lots of pogos.
Yeah, for anyone who hasn't watched the 80% or know much, Cranky's pretty much the 80% Kong of choice. The Pogo gives you the maximum height that Dixie's Flutter can even give you going up, and the Pogo makes sure you don't lose any speed as you're going horizontally, and you can bounce on spikes and other random things. So it gives you pretty much the best movement you can get in the game without losing any speed. So that's why we choose Cranky pretty much wherever we can.
Yeah, you can also notice that you can basically bounce on various type of hazards. And this level is spikes.
You have to get that phonograph right there for
required.
Oh, yeah.
required.
Yeah,
100% required.
Original Donkey Kong country music. If you're listening, hopefully you might have heard it before.
Yeah, Cranky can bounce on all sorts of hazards as well. It's true, like DKS was saying.
Yeah, which is really helpful because on later levels you'll see that without Cranky we are basically screwed and we have to wait a lot. And obviously we don't want that.
Yeah.
Also, this level is amazing.
This is probably one of my favorite levels. That's not at any percent. It looks amazing. It plays amazing, and the music's amazing. So there you go.
I
You'd have
always
to
look
wait till
forward to this
World
music.
6 and any percent to get a silhouette level. So it's just one of the many reasons we'll talk Hundo as the superior category.
Yeah. It's really cool too. The Kong letters in this are pretty well set up that Cranky can just grab them by bouncing specifically on certain enemies here. So we'll see, like coming up, the setup allows him to get the O.
Yeah, the only dangerous letter is the N one, because you have to do a pretty specific set of pogos. Besides from that, it's pretty consistent.
Yeah, so let's see if Kruncha here can nail this.
Oh no!
No,
It's precise. You can't just do full bounces like maximum pogos because you'll overshoot things, and you can't do smaller bounces because you actually have to still make each bug. So it's this weird combination of hitting in the middle ground.
yeah.
I can't get it.
It's tricky.
I keep hitting the button too hard.
Yeah, so basically you don't wanna like undershot the last bug because you will cross to the next section without getting the letter. So he has to land like on the middle of the last bug or either a little bit to the right.
Yeah.
Anything else doesn't work.
Okay, nice. It's good too because the checkpoint is right before that, and they give you a cranky barrel, so at least you can try it again, which is pretty good. It's kind of a forgiving trick at least
Yeah.
for the first sort of difficult trick in the run.
The intended way of getting that letter is to pull the plug and like a vine releases and like stretches itself, but that obviously take a bunch of time. So
It's so slow. It's like 20 seconds to
Yeah.
wait for that vine to do
20 seconds! Wow.
stuff. I swear it is actually that long. It's horrible.
By the way, I heard the next level's an auto-scroller.
Yes.
That is correct.
You
And-
heard right.
Oh,
Yeah.
then this would be an excellent time to read a donation. Would you
Yes,
agree?
it would.
Yeah, because I got $47 here from Garrick, our previous runner, saying $47 for a 47-minute run. Thanks and good luck to everyone left.
So the auto scrollers aren't too interesting for the most part. The only thing you kind of have to know is as you hop, you don't lose any of your speed. So hopping up and down slopes kind of keeps all your maximum speed. Going up slopes will slow it down, so if you hop up, you actually don't lose that speed. So there's not really any other way to gain time in this level. You just kind of go through it, and you have to pay attention if you're an any percent runner to make sure you also get the Kong letters. Sometimes I forget them. But yeah, there's a few auto. There's one for every world, I'm pretty sure, and then there's like a World 7 auto scroller with a lot of tech.
Yes. So if you miss a little on an auto scroller, it snowballs super quickly. It's awful. Like besides losing your partner, due to the checkpoint system, you probably will lose like 30 to 40 seconds because the deaths here are really costly.
Yeah, that's brutal.
It's really, really brutal. And since, oh well, we'll talk about this later, but since we don't go to the shop anymore, this route, I guess, snowballs really fast. Like, mistakes are really costly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even a small mistake compounds super easily into something terrible.
Exactly.
And a lot of the game kind of works like that in terms of like partner barrel cycles and things like that, which we'll talk about a bit later when they're relevant.
It's when you're playing this game as a speedrun too, you get a feel for the rhythm of just how the game is going to work out. You go at a certain speed every single time, and you're pretty much par for par. But you make that one mistake, and then suddenly everything starts to spiral out of control.
Right.
It's just a habit of this game as a speedrun in general for many runners.
Yeah. So going into the first K level, so by collecting every Kong letter in the world, there are no Kong letters in boss levels. you unlock the K level, which you also have to complete for 100%. And the K levels are notoriously hard. There's usually 1 or 0 partner barrels at the beginning, and there's no checkpoints, and they're more difficult than the other levels.
Yeah.
So we'll see how Kruncha does here. This one's particularly cool. These vines, you can skip a bunch of them a bit later on with Dixie, and a bunch of platforms move and give you momentum, which will give you a ton of extra speed. So you can see some of this momentum allows you to flutter really far, which is cool, and skip a bunch of platforms and enemies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're skipping
Yeah,
pretty much
so-
everything.
Yo, what Kruncha did was, if you bounce like on the left edge of that owls, you can keep the speed, which is really helpful.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because normally the flutter like cancels your momentum, but if you bounce that specific way, it's gonna work out.
Yeah, that was a really, really, really good 1K.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
very
really
good.
nice.
Oh.
You got all the cycles and everything. Oh, yeah, get the present.
Yeah, you can see how Dixie really shines in this run a lot more, especially in a couple of the K levels where lots of big open gaps. It's not really very feasible for Cranky.
It's what makes it particularly brutal if you do end up dying on a K level, you lose Dixie and doing it solo DK.
Right, yeah. A lot of the K levels don't have barrels, so this one does at least, so you could get another Dixie, but a bunch of the other ones don't, and it's terrible. Particularly 2K.
All right,
If you die on there, it's really bad.
first boss. One thing you're gonna note with the boss fights in this game is they're pretty much all cycle based, and you know it's the usual: do 3 hits and first cycle, do 3 hits and the next cycle.
Yeah, you'll see these green fish here. So the reason Kruncha's bouncing off that enemy to hit that fish early is because it ends the cycle quicker when you clear all the enemies off the screen there. So there's a couple instances where you do that in the first couple. And then one coming up a little bit later. So by hitting the fish at the highest possible point there, just like Kruncha did, you clear them off screen even before they hit the ground there. So it saves a little bit of time.
Yeah, well, one nice thing too about Cranky here, not only does it give him a little extra height to help bounce those enemies a little faster, but you might have noticed one of those enemies was like covered in spikes. Cranky's cane makes it so that he can jump off of spikes.
Yeah, Cranky's really important.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure why, but pretty much Cranky is, like, without question, the best for every boss in this game.
Yeah,
maybe Frederick, but yeah.
that's
so
arguable,
basically-
I think.
Yeah. So like every boss, you pretty much need to use him at least for the speedrun.
Mhm.
I like to just bounce the walruses over and over for fun when Pompey's not doing anything.
Some downtime there. Okay, he's back. The other thing about Cranky here is that coming up in the first couple levels of World 2, there's actually no Cranky barrels. So, and of course Cranky's the best. So we want to keep Cranky throughout this without losing him at all. And if you lose him, it's pretty bad time loss. So it's pretty important in the next couple levels not to lose Cranky, but Kruncha should be fine.
Yeah. In theory, there is a backup, which is adding the second player as a Kong, but it's really costly. It's like, if I'm not mistaken, like 20 seconds.
Yeah, you can add the multiplayer in for any Kong you want, but then you have to drop them afterwards, and yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah,
And-
it's super costly.
Even though there is one point in the run where we do it on purpose to do a specific trick.
Spoilers!
Yeah, it's cool. We'll get there later. If you've seen 80%, you know kind of what's going on, but it's cool. So
By the way, I love the next level soundtrack so much.
yeah,
Windhill Hills was was when when I was first seeing this game and I started watching it and hearing the music, I was like, okay, I gotta buy this game. I need to.
The one point where you need to buy this game when you hear this music. Yeah, coming into World 2, there's a lot more pits and death, so the difficulty gets a little bit higher here.
Some really tricky timing pogos with Cranky here, just to get through this area just a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the letters on this level, two of them work out the same as any percent, but two of them you have to make like a small detour, like it's for the O and the N. Like as you can see there, Kruncha needed to take a detour to take the O, and for the N he will have to go to an extra platform.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty close jump, but you can still make it with Cranky. It's technically a little bit faster.
Oh, how did that happen?
It's technically a little bit faster to actually use Dixie in this level. That's okay.
Isn't it?
But we do use Cranky normally, still, basically because we wanted him for the next level. That's okay. Again, this is where the difficulty ramps up, so sometimes you just fall in pits, and there's nothing you can do about it. Luckily, you don't need a partner to get the next Kong letter. I actually think you technically don't need a partner to get any Kong letter in this game.
I think there's one spot I can think of, but I
actually
might be
don't think
wrong.
so. I think they set it up so that you can technically just use solo DK.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but the partners are a little bit easier and faster. It almost
You can't get to every level because of secret exits, but
right.
once in the level you can get all the letters. I'm pretty sure all the puzzle pieces as well.
Yeah, I think so too. You could do solo DK, 100% puzzle piece run if you want.
Why would you?
Right.
So unfortunately, that death means that I don't get to show off some of the coolest momentum boosts in this level with Cranky, but yeah, it is what it is. And if you've watched the GDQs, you've already gotten to see it a couple times.
That's true. I mean, there's still some cool stuff coming up. There's a lot of this run, and there's a lot of momentum in this run. Not just this level, so you can see a lot coming up anyway.
Yeah, you'll see the momentum. The thing is that he won't be able to keep it with Cranky. So the momentum will basically just last for as long as he's on the air.
Right, that's another huge point with Cranky's cane, is that you can keep all the momentum going forward as you pogo. So the pogo doesn't lose you any speed either.
Yeah. And obviously we're introduced to Rambi, an old favorite of Donkey Kong Country 1. He's also was in Donkey Kong Country Returns, and he's still the only partner animal in this game.
Yeah.
Also, what's pretty funny is that, like with Rambi, since he's so huge, Diddy and Dixie's ability to flutter and hover are severely diminished.
Yeah.
But Cranky's cane is just as strong. You can still bounce and do the same things that you can with just Donkey Kong and Cranky.
Cranky's had that pogo down for years. It's no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps a lot to be able to bounce with Cranky still, with Randy.
Yeah, it's no joke just how much heavier the controls end up feeling with Rambi.
Mm-hmm. And Rambi's great because you can just, for most of it, just run straight through a bunch of enemies and obstacles and stuff. But they punish you in World 8 in a level for that and make it a lot harder to just run through everything. Because you kind of feel like you just want to keep mashing and just running forward.
Okay, 2-3 is one of the, in my opinion, one of the coolest levels in terms of aesthetics, but on any percent or in handle as well, it can go really smoothly or it can snowball very horribly. And that's because this is a level which has global cycles. which means that if we mess up something, everything else will get messed up as well.
Right, everything in the level is based off the music in this. So horns blowing and platforms moving and stuff is based on where the music is at. So you'll see a small mistake can actually cost you a ton of time because the cycles are screwed up a little bit later on. You learn this level in a familiar pattern. And then if it's different, it's hard. Yeah, so the cycles are a bit off because you had to actually get Cranky back again. It's okay, he's still doing well. Oh.
All right.
Yeah, the end is
You
tricky.
shouldn't have to lose time for the N if you jump at the right time, but yeah, it's definitely tricky to get that one.
Yeah, especially if the cycles aren't perfect.
Yeah, I had a lot of trouble with that end. Like, I really hated it. Because
Yeah.
if you go too early, it still doesn't matter if you jump at the right time because you'll fall. But if you jump too late, like, obviously it's unoptimal, so you have to, like, compromise a bit.
Yeah, it's super tricky.
It's very easy to just suddenly get really nervous when you screw up that level too, because you're so used to everything being on the global cycle.
Yeah, that actually worked out super well though, considering the cycle was off and you had to grab Cranky again. That level could be super punishing, so. Alright,
Yeah,
moving on.
I have days that level doesn't work, like like kills like 5 runs straight or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
always.
it's really frustrating.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I heard you like Sawmill Thrill.
I love
we
Sawmill
love it
Thrill.
so much that we're gonna do it twice.
Oh man, yay. Yeah, this is the first instance where you have to do a level twice to get to a secret exit and a regular exit.
So if anybody wants to get some donations in, now would be an excellent time because I have some time to read this.
Go ahead.
No, I'm telling that to the audience. Please donate.
Oh. Come on, guys. Yeah, so it's good to know too with having to do this level twice. You only need to get the Kong letters one time through. So he's just going to collect them the first time, and then the second time do a couple more possibly smaller optimizations instead of getting the letters.
Exactly. Also, what to note is that I'm pretty sure Retro like knew that auto scrollers would be kind of boring, so they put amazing music in pretty much all of them.
Yeah, and amazing visuals and made it look very unique and cool.
Yeah, the music on this particular level, I love it, but you can't listen to it because you are listening to my ugly voice. But yeah, it's really, really good in my opinion.
I love the idea of it though. It's a classic twist on the minecart level, really.
Yeah.
Machine.
Nice.
Honestly, this is the one thing I was really happy about with this game, especially coming off of Donkey Kong Country Returns. I always thought Donkey Kong Country Returns minecart levels were a little bit too strict. This game feels a lot more lenient, but still really tight, you know?
Yeah, for sure. These jumps are particularly hard. They didn't look it, but it's pretty tricky to get those.
I suck at them.
I remember that. And that was one go through. That is probably the only... I think this is probably the longest stretch of having to play the same level multiple times. Because even the one where you have to play the auto-scroller 3 times, you only do half of one, and it's not even as long as this.
Yeah, and you do some levels in between, so
Right, so it's
Isn't
totally
that-
fine.
that's training.
It mixes it up, but here it's, no, really, you just do this.
Yeah, for World 2 you can't do anything about it.
It's a nice break though, because 2-1, 2-2, and 2-3 is a hard. It's a really hard stretch, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So can you just chill for a bit,
exactly.
like relax that you have a run going or whatever?
Hmm. The point of no reset. So he got all the Kong letters on the first go through, so he doesn't really need to get them here, but they're on the route still. It's really not very hard to get them anyway.
Yeah, I usually don't bother getting the end the second time around.
Yeah, the end is the only somewhat tricky one to get. You have to kind of do a jump and go into the water and break from the normal routine.
Well, we got this other scroller going on. I just want to say thank you to everybody who are watching and everybody that has donated so far. I am really happy to see that not only did we reach our goal, but we have surpassed it to $4,052. That is amazing. And to be frankly honest, pretty insane. So for your insanity, Voligen will be doing an equally insane 0 XP run of Ori and the Blind Forest.
That's great. So we're almost done the auto-scroller, and then we're gonna split up the path a little bit. Since it opens 2 exits, you're able to pick which route you go to, but we have to do every level. So we're gonna start with the top route, and then before the boss, you're gonna have to go down to the bottom route, and then to the K level, and then to the boss. And it doesn't really matter which order you do the route in, except you get to keep Kongs from specific levels. So Kruncha's gonna do the top route, and then the end of it have Cranky going into the bottom route, where you'll end with Cranky, I believe, actually, now. The route's changed.
Yeah. If he had lost Cranky in 2-3, he would pretty much have to go top route to compensate, because you really want Cranky for the start of 2A. But
Right.
other than that, it's pretty much preference, which one you do first.
Right. So we're gonna take the any percent levels first, as you'll see. And then go down to the 2 new levels. The ones you haven't seen.
By the way, something I really haven't, we haven't really pointed out much in terms of just like the level design for this game that is actually surprisingly cool in my opinion, is the way the levels just transition to each other are kind of like a progression of like, yes, you started at the kind of ground level, but now you're slowly climbing your way up this mountain where the boss is.
Yeah. Yeah, every world does it like that too. It's cool. Not just going up, but going through the world and the way it changes.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The most notorious ones, in my opinion, are World 2 and World 5. And because it has a more like obvious story, I guess. But the other ones are really cool too.
Yeah, and World 6 gets like progressively more. Well, World 6 is based like exactly on DKC Returns. So each level you can follow was the exact same as each world in Returns. Not the exact same, but the same style. So every world has a little bit of a theme and a story going for it.
All right, next level.
Yeah, that was great. That's definitely a Dixie level. I've definitely put some time in to try and get Cranky, but it's not happening.
Come on.
For a long time.
I remember during my 12-hour challenge, I forgot it was a Dixie level, and I tried to cross the gap.
Oh god.
Yeah, and it's really only like one gap that you can't do with Cranky, but it wastes so much time.
Yeah, pretty much anything with swinging vines is gonna end up being Dixie.
Yeah. So this is the first level, I think, where the barrel cycles are pretty important. So each barrel, if you didn't know from the 90%, they spin to different partners on the spinning barrel levels, at least. But the barrel cycle begins spinning when the level begins. So it's based on a universal cycle, just like that level 2-3. But that's the only part of the level that is based on a universal cycle, and all barrels are based on that. So in order to make a Cranky cycle coming up, you want to be at a certain speed. You want to make the barrel at the right time. So you want to go through the level as fast as you can.
Exactly.
Pretty
And
good
what
intro,
is
so nothing else happens. I should be able to make it right when Cranky is there.
Yeah, that was a good enough intro. And the vine section is, again, basically an auto-scroller. Can't really speed it up anyway.
Yeah, but once he gets cranky and gets to this one part, you're gonna see some pretty crazy momentum.
Yeah, there's some cool momentum in this level too.
Also, what's cool about this level is that every letter is on route, technically, so you don't lose any time to the any percent route, I guess.
All right, so he was able to obviously grab the cranky. It was a nice grab there.
This was a good place to pick up coins back when the run with a shop in it. But,
What are coins? What are these coins you're talking about?
The only thing I remember about coins was that dumb race Ghoul did, where they tried to avoid picking up any.
Oh yeah, that was, I was in that. That was awesome. There's something you really can't avoid, but last
was-
little climb here.
Yep. This climb is pretty smooth if you do it right with the cranky.
Yeah, the G grab is really tricky though. We'll see if we get it.
I got the
Oh,
G
yeah.
back is fine, and then I
Oh,
did
pro
the-
strats, actual pro strats coming.
Kinda trying to get
Oh.
It's okay. Almost.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, the G grab is really, really tricky. The worst case scenario is that you get to the next platform, but you don't actually get it, and you have to like awkwardly go down, and it's awful.
Yeah. So now we're taking the alternate route, as you see. I was wrong about one auto-scroller per world. There is another auto-scroller in this world.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's after this level. And it's cool, I think.
Yeah, it is. This one's really cool too because, well, let me put it this way: do you like explosions?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this level. It's in terms of execution, I think it's really, really fun, especially the middle section. And you basically need to. There are a lot of like barrel cannons, and you need to shoot like as soon as possible.
Also cheese, lots of cheese.
Yeah. Alright. That's super smooth, Kruncha. Yeah, you got to
That
that
was.
section really well. That can be really tricky. You could hit the ceiling, you could bonk into an enemy. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong there. So that was super smooth, and he grabbed the letter, so yeah, solid.
Hmm.
I believe this is also one of the few. I'm not sure if it's still that way, but it used to be that the IL world record would use two different Kongs, Frankie and Dixie, on this level.
Nice end grab.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only two ones, as far as I know, are this one and 5-3.
So, by the way, if you don't get that G, then you have to die on these owls over here, which can be actually kind of tricky because you have to time, and you have, if you have 4 hearts left, you have to time it to hit 4 different owls in that stretch. Oops.
Yeah. It's, yeah, you can't die any other way, and you can't finish the level, because then you have to do the whole thing again. So yeah, if you miss the G, it's pretty bad.
It's led to some comical deaths of runs where
Yeah.
you're just desperately trying to die and you can't.
And there are only 6 enemies you can die on left.
Also, Jacobs had a design idea for that last spiral section. He thought it would be a good idea to put a puzzle piece on the back side of that spiral. I
Yeah.
don't know. I really don't know about that.
Yeah.
I believe the next level's the first of the rocket barrel ones.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
making a
it's-
return from returns.
Exactly. Kruncha, how is this level called?
I'm glad you asked, DKS. We like to call this one tropical cheese.
Yeah. As you can see, I really like this level as well. There are a lot of cheese that keeps rolling, and obviously it hurts you because it's apparently really hard cheese. And The mouses hurt you as well, and I don't know. I really like the design of this level.
Oh man, you only got 4 more of those to get.
Krunch is also doing the DKC return strat. In returns, you only get 1 heart on your rocket barrels, and in Tropical Freeze they give you 2 because they're nice. But Kruncha went for the intentional hit. Let's go with 1.
For those who are not aware how this controls either, it's kind of like a thruster where you, if you hold down the A button, you will continue to pull upwards, and if you let go of it, you will start to tip downwards. So there's a little bit of kind of like managing, just tapping the A button slightly to maintain your current hover. Okay, good. You got the G.
Yeah, the G can be a little bit tricky. It's super close to that cheese, that really hard cheese.
Yeah, so all set to do 2K. And
2K.
the thing about 2K is that Kruncha made a cranky route for that level, which is insanely cool looking, but also insanely punishing. In terms of execution, I'd say it's not that bad, but like I said, it's super terrifying to see, but it's amazing if it goes well.
Yeah, the thing to note is there's no there's no partner barrel, so you need to keep cranky. And there's also, it's basically 1 large gap with just enemies you have to bounce on. So there's very little ground, solid ground to stand on.
I must have spent like 3 hours on Papapolis.
Yeah, it's
my first time.
But it's also really fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I lost like 90 lives here on my playthrough. But it's a really cool concept. Like, probably some players didn't feel safe enough bouncing on enemies, but once they got to this level, they have to.
Right.
No, this is like the level you want to play if you want to practice your timing for enemy bopping.
Exactly. To note, there are a lot of different type of enemy bops, and with the cranky scan there are even more. So you have to really be a master of that in order to do this level properly.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, God.
No.
Oh, it's so hard.
Overshooting, cranky bounce.
Oh, overshot.
Yeah, that's the problem with this level.
This level again. And this
All
time
right.
it's DK.
Now it's DK time. Again, this is how punishing this level is.
Yeah, so on that section, unfortunately, you have to do a medium bounce on that section. So, medium bounces, of course, we want to avoid them every time we can. But for that section, it's a lot faster to do it.
Yeah, the thing about the medium bounce is it's just so tricky to hit it. Because it requires you to press A, but not fully press A, kind of somewhere in the middle, and you have to just kind of know where in the middle you press it, which makes it difficult.
Yeah. You have to have a feel for it, which is really tricky on some, like on marathon runs or whatever. If you're nervous, you're gonna get messed up or whatever.
Right.
Oh, why did I do? Oh my God! Sorry, I lost concentration.
It's okay. This level is super. It's way more challenging with just solo DK also. It actually used to be a Dixie level
something
for
we
a
like
long
to call
time.
the Hundo experience.
Yeah, you're fine.
The Hundo experience.
You must be this DK to ride.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to, before Kruncha found the cranky route that was super good, I would just use Dixie, and oops, I made a little mistake, I guess I'll hover out of it, and it was fine. But it was definitely slower. So we had to change that up. But again, it makes it more challenging and more punishing.
Yeah, and we could manage to enter this level with Dixie, but the thing is that we also need Cranky for the boss fight coming up, so it's convenient to finish up with Cranky as well.
Right, there's a lot of benefits to having Cranky in this.
Yeah. Thankfully, they do give you a partner barrel choice at the start of that boss fight.
Alright, that was a good save.
All right.
Yeah, that was super close. But yeah, this shows you how challenging that section is, especially. But it worked
Nice
out.
work.
I think notoriously Spike Vegeta did a hundo run a long time ago and spent 45 minutes on this level after he died once because he couldn't do it solo DK.
That was so great.
And then his next run that he did after would just save 45 minutes every time on 2K.
Also on his PB, he has a pretty funny death here on 2K. Like, well, if you wanna bop on enemies with Dixie, there's a small disadvantage. That is, you have to change your timing because fluttering and bopping are to the same input. So sometimes you wanna like change your height on your bop, but you will start fluttering. So if that happens, that's usually really, really bad.
Yeah, you lose all your speed and you don't have enough height usually. So all the
Alright.
bosses are the same as 80%, which is kind of nice. You don't have to really relearn anything with bosses.
Yeah, but for some reason they're much harder.
In Hundo experience, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's just part of Hundo.
Yeah, this
Like,
is Skell is easily the best boss in the game, in my opinion.
It's a very cool
Yeah.
boss. It's designed really well.
Yeah, what we all love about him is that it gives you pretty much all the tools you need to kill him really fast. You don't need to generally like wait for the Nintendo boss like dance or whatever for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You pretty much get your ammo and you're good.
Yeah. It lets you do it. Lets you do it fast. It also lets you do it slow if you want to just casually go through it.
Yeah. You can either baby it or do it pretty, like
Right.
pretty much world record strats. Speaking of world record strats, there is a somewhat recently discovered a yellow strat. I mean quick kill, and it saves 2 seconds on this phase, which consists in doing the last hit like 2 hits at once, basically. So it saves 2 seconds, but if you miss it for some reason, it wastes like a minute. So not everyone feels comfortable going for it.
And
Right.
so if Kruncha can pull this off here, he should be finishing the boss here in just a moment. Yep, there he goes.
Nice.
Yeah, so the only thing that's different with the quick kill is instead of waiting for him to spawn on the right side again, you like hit him, drop the egg in your damage animation, the egg hits him, and then you hit him. So it saves like, 1 to 2 seconds. And super risky if you miss it.
Yeah, especially in Hando, we are like what, like 40 minutes in or whatever.
Yeah, it feels even worse.
Yeah.
Okay, this level's a fan favorite for sure. The Lion King level, as people like to call it.
Yeah, this is actually really cool how the music changes as you progress through the level. It's no wonder it's considered a fan favorite.
Right. And the music is also super relevant here again because the cycles are all based off the music again.
Yeah.
So you're going to be
levels-
trying to make certain cycles. And what's good about Hundo is you can pretty much do it and get the Kong letters right on the route without losing any time. It's a bit trickier, especially the G.
Yeah. It's one of the, like I said before, like the few cases in which you can pretty much not lose any time to the any percent route.
Yeah, I think in most cases, there's only 1 or 2 Kong letters in each level that you actually have to like change your route from the 80% to get,
Yeah.
if that.
3-4.
Yeah, 3-4 is notoriously way worse in Hundo than it is 80%.
And especially in this run.
Oh yeah. So yeah, right now he's like pretty much done the same as any percent, but the G grab here is it's not like that tricky, but it makes the cycles really tight.
Slipped a little bit, but I think I can still, yeah, should be okay.
Should be
Nice.
fine.
That's close though, yeah. But you can see it's a lot closer. Normally 80%, you'd have to wait a second, honestly, for that snake to come up to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was a super
Nice.
solid level for sure.
Also, at the end of that level, there is a pretty cool, I guess, like a music Easter egg. if you wait a bit on the golden barrel section, but it's way too slow.
As cool as it is.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah.
If it were like the phonograph, like half a second or something, we
Well,
would
the photograph
probably
is
wait.
required anyway. There's no question.
Yeah. Yeah. Speak. This level, Baba Bonanza, I love it in Hando. It works out super well. Like all the letters work out really, really well. It's one of my favorites routes in this category.
Yeah, you even get to switch Kongs. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you get to switch Kongs. They line up perfectly, and
Yep.
it's still a bit slower from any percent, but like 1 second or something.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal at all.
Oh,
Yeah, did not quite get enough height on that jump.
yeah, that's not too bad.
Doesn't fit.
Nice recovery.
Nothing really bad happens. It's okay. That's kind of what you have to go for sometimes. It's like, okay, I didn't lose the run.
Yeah, so we grab Dixie just to get that N right there, and then we're going to
Yeah.
be switching right back to Cranky.
Yep, it's okay because the cycle still works out.
Kind of.
I mean,
Mistakes,
not bad. You had lost time at the beginning, so that probably affected it, but normally it would work pretty well. And then this end part here, you can't go any faster. You have to wait for this giant fruit to come and blow up the wall. So you have a lot of time to collect stuff, including the G coming up without wasting any time from 90%.
Reminds me of a Duran.
I think that's what it is, actually. It's also a one-hit kill, so don't touch it. You die instantly.
Yeah.
No matter how many hearts you have, it's brutal.
If you want to know what happens, check out Not So Newbie's highlights.
Yeah, I have a highlight. I got stuck somewhere, and then I just couldn't get out, and I died.
Also, it's really important to keep cranky on that level. You might be familiar with the trick Dosido. That's a super tough trick in any percent.
I will not be doing that in this
Yeah.
one.
You won't be doing it, but still, this level without cranky is a pain. It's really, really bad.
And they don't give you any cranky barrels at all. They give you Diddy.
Exactly.
Yeah, Diddy.
Yeah. Theoretically, it's possible to grab all the letters while still doing the Dosido trick, but it's really, really tough.
Oh,
Yeah.
please. Okay.
Like, it's ultra finicky, and Dosido itself is really finicky as it is, so
Yeah.
I know, I don't know, if someone thinks it's not worth it, it's totally a valid opinion.
Yeah, I don't even do it yet. If I'll ever do it. That's how finicky it is.
Finicky, and it's just a matter of how confident are you at this point of the run.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we said before, like you have to master like the different pogo heights on 1B. If you do that trick, you have to like, I don't know, you need to know them so well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
here we're
more
seeing
than
that-
normal.
Yeah, and
Now
trying to
we're-
collect all the Kong letters on the way as well. It's just.
Oh yeah. Forget
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
The main problem,
I don't know. You can
like
see.
I honestly, grabbing the O, the N, and the G is not that hard in my opinion, but the K is the main problem because the tornado before that needs to do a really specific thing, and that's really not reliable enough.
Bye, Randy. It was cool seeing you Poco for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give him a little Yoshi there. Drop him for the extra height.
yeah.
All right, so this next level is very fitting with the theme of this marathon because it's basically California.
Yeah, it is. This should be the background image for the marathon. It's also, yeah, we were saying earlier, this level is pretty easy and pretty neat and smooth at 90%. And the letters are in horrible places here, so it becomes kind of a hot mess.
And of course, I need to remind you that an incentive was met to put out all the fires.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, okay, I gotta get this one.
All right.
Alright, now I gotta wait for Dixie.
Okay, so you can put away the fires like tossing that water fruits or by rolling through the fire.
Yeah, so I used some invincibility frames to get 3 fires at once with my body over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did Goldfish route this?
Oh,
I believe he did, yes.
okay, I want to do this again. We gotta get this.
Gotta do it.
One more time. Okay.
Yeah, you got this.
Hey, newbie's banana.
Ah, I keep breaking it on the... Okay, if I don't get it this time, I'll just walk over and get it.
Yeah, this is the cool swag little trick to put the fire out.
I keep throwing it the wrong way. Alright, well, I'm wanting to bounce off those porcupines and get the fire that way, but yeah, that tree branch keeps getting in the way, so...
That's okay.
Oops. Okay.
Those birds are super weird. Like the dodos one? The dodos?
Oh!
Oh. Yeah, with all the damage boosting, it's like... It's super dangerous at this point.
Alright, we got one more fire to put out over here.
Yeah.
Also to note, I'm pretty sure you can't actually put out the fires on the vines, at least on the end section.
All of them? Even the one at the very last one?
No, I meant the end ones. Just
Oh, okay.
Thank you for doing your part to help fight the fires.
Yeah, we decided to only go for the ground fires because there are a lot of fires on the vine that would take quite a bit of time, and some of them probably are not even possible to put out.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay. They're all put out.
yeah. It's like the one time you wish they had kept it in the blow mechanic from DKC Returns.
No, we don't. No one does.
Okay, on to our next auto scroller.
It's
This
so
one's
fun.
We get to do it a few times. There's a regular exit, and then there are 2 secret exits in here, and they all go to different levels. So we're gonna have to hit every exit in here.
Yeah, the sub, like, in personal, I'm not even bothered like by doing a level twice or 3 times, but the fact that it's an auto-scroller kind of bumps me up.
Right, that makes it a lot more frustrating.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
more
this
tedious.
one, even though we already saw a rocket barrel level, definitely like rocket barrel level and probably the easiest level in the game. So of course this is the one we have to do 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, because later on the run we have to do a couple more levels. Well, we have to do 2 levels, which are auto scrollers, twice. And actually it's pretty fun in my opinion. Like 4A and 5-4. And actually it's pretty fun to do them twice, but like
Yeah,
this
and
kind of
for-
level is not so much.
And for the non-auto scrollers, you have to do slightly different routes as well for each of them, which again keeps it kind of fresh and interesting.
Bye, secret exit. We'll see you later.
Yep.
Yeah, so the first exit Kruncha is gonna take is the end one, and that's because he wants Dixie for the next level, and it works out that well.
Yeah, so even though you have to do
It's
this,
also easiest to get with Dixie because she can swim against the currents. And I guess this is the first time that we see that. Oh no, never mind. We saw it in 1-2.
technically, right? Yeah, each of the Kongs has an underwater ability as well as an above water ability, and they do different things, and they're all utilized in different ways in the run. Dixie's is probably the most. Well, Dixie's we use as intended a couple times, but Diddy can also kind of do it. Not really intended. But he's so fast underwater. His ability has a jetpack. So he's kind of ideal for all the underwater levels. And then Cranky attacks with his cane, which is only useful in Fugu. So.
Yeah.
It's okay. Fugu becomes a lot better in the speedrun than casually.
No, he still sucks as a speedrun boss.
Yeah, he's not great. Coming from the guy who dies on him in every marathon.
Not the last one.
I didn't in the last one, that's true. So here's another hundo level. Only, which is great.
Yeah, I really like this level. Well, especially on the IL. The IL has a really sick route for it that is actually done with Cranky. But with Dixie, it makes it a lot easier because this level has a lot of mechanisms, I guess. But since Dixie can cross large gaps, she can skip a lot of them.
Right, and she's also a lot faster at getting the common letters than Cranky is. In most
I think
cases.
it looks pretty close to even between Cranky and Dixie, but
Yeah,
you
Cranky's a
really
lot
don't
more
wanna
dangerous.
like you don't want to die on this level or lose your partner because it's really a pain with solo DK.
Yeah, it's nearly impossible.
Yeah, like the mechanisms are like you see those targets, you have to throw water balloons at them, and sometimes like grab a vine
You
and
just
wait
skip
for
all
the
these
platforms.
Skip all these targets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Not a
it's
single
really
target you have to hit.
you really don't want to lose a partner. It's really not worth it.
And cool little off-screen gold barrel hit there.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I always like that, yeah. So the barrel's there, you just don't have to take the intentional way to get it.
Yeah. Also, little note: Kruncha has the Dixie world record for that level, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I assume so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
When I was number 8 on the leaderboards, we knew for sure.
Now it's hidden forever.
Yeah.
So we're back to the auto scroller to hit the next exit, which is going to be the regular exit, and the not secret exit.
Yeah. Also, Kruncha will go for a really tight cranky cycle.
Yeah, I don't make it very often.
Yeah. It's really, really like tight in terms of timing.
Yeah.
I used to call it the God Cranky. But
Yeah.
my Goldfish and can get it pretty consistently. I think maybe DKS can too. So so we're thinking about changing it to just Cranky. The trick is just called Cranky.
Not God Cranky anymore. Yeah. Just Cranky.
By the way, I'm demonstrating how easy this level. So you've noticed that like the only time I've not held A so far in this level is to dip down a little bit to grab a heart, and yeah, I'm still going.
Yep.
Alright.
We
While
call
this
it,
auto scroller is still going on, I'd love to take this moment to remind everybody that this is the Cal Fire Relief Marathon. We are supporting the American Red Cross, and even though we have surpassed our goal, that does not mean we cannot still use more money to go to their cause. So if you have anything at all that you'd like to help donate to the cause, please do. We have some amazing prizes that only require a minimum of $5 for you to potentially win.
so we
So, yeah.
dip down to go through that little passageway, and now we're back to hold A, hold A.
Hold A. He also got the Kong letters already in the last run through, so he doesn't even need to get them here. So he can literally hold A the entire day. Hold A.
Just get hit by these guys, and oh, there's a heart down here. Let's get down for that. we're done.
That's it.
I admittedly
Yeah.
like this stage. It's great for when you want to take a drink or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Or check Facebook or Twitter or whatever.
I always check Twitter on this level.
So, like for a long time, people have went for that, like we said, got cranky on Hanjo because you can actually do the next level with Diddy pretty smoothly. Like it's pretty much the same, so it doesn't cost any time to lose cranky and get Diddy by accident. But at any percent, it pretty much means run over.
Right.
There's another level with lots of explosions, if you like those. Get a lot more of those than in any percent.
Some damage boosting going through all those bombs.
Almost all of these barrels you can just mash through except for this one, where you wait a quarter second and then you go back to that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's literally like no time at all. But you can't mash immediately.
Also, on this middle section coming up, you need to know which barrels you can mash right away and which ones you have to wait. And if you lose a little bit of focus here, you can really easily die in the stupidest way.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't just take damage, it just kills you.
Yep.
It shoots you into the abyss. Okay, one more time on the auto scroller now. Luckily, we only have to do half the level.
Get, yeah, a lot of cool dynamic camera angles in that level, which we don't get as many of in any percent.
Right.
All right, so now we're taking the any percent secret exit. Last time through 3-5.
I already have Cranky. You need Cranky or Dixie at least to get into the secret exit. Or to the secret gold barrel. In this one. So if you don't have either, you have to get one or die. Get him again.
I'm also take this moment to remind folks we do have some incentives that would love to have your attention right now. Currently, we have the naming incentives for Earthbound. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of Jeffs. I can't imagine why. So, if you want to help keep the Jeff happening, please donate. Or, if you are anti-Jeff, which I know there's some anti-Jeffs out there, please help the cause.
Alright, so coming up is 3B. And in any percent, it's really smooth and awesome. And in Hundo, it's mostly smooth and awesome. But the very last letter is kind of tricky to get. Doesn't always work out so well. But the rest of the level still looks sick. So
It's consistent, but it's a really tight jump.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
G is the coolest looking part.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
if
kind of,
you
underneath a really fat owl, and
Yeah.
while getting hit by him.
exactly, if you jump too early, you bounce on a pad and you lose all your speed. And if you jump too late, you get hit by the owl. So it's pretty tight, and nailing that window is pretty important.
this level I could never do fast, actually. For whatever reason, I have a severe problem of fear with this level and not being used to the platforms appearing just right before I need them.
Yeah, that's the point for sure. It makes you. It's supposed to make you nervous.
It's so smooth in my head.
The trick. Yeah, that's super smooth.
Yeah, amazing.
And
And losing
80% want
Cranky
to keep Cranky, but here we just mash through and lose Cranky on purpose. Because
Yeah.
we're going to pick up Dixie in the K level over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to remember K3. I do remember K3 was not nearly as bad as Papapolis, though.
Right, and you actually get a partner at the beginning of this one, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. So this is the spot that you guys use to shop. You want to talk about that a bit?
Yeah, we used to hit the shop here, collect a whole bunch of random stuff. You have like 200 coins by this point, so you can get whatever you want. We used to get a lot of safety items, a lot of extra barrels and stuff. But yeah, DKS was able to root out the shop and make it slightly faster not to visit.
DKS, why did you do that? I was enjoying this game. I like shopping.
Oh God. Well, the thing is that we knew that it was theoretically possible, but it would require like doing a level in a really scary way, I guess. But basically I figure out a way to do it consistently. But it's still scary, and you guys are gonna see it.
Yeah.
So pretty much that level meant that we can no longer go to the shop now, which saves 40 seconds, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes like 2 or 3 levels much harder, but it's worth it for the speed.
Yep. And there were only about 1 or 2 levels anyway that were faster with shop items, using specific Kong strats. But
The
you don't
most
really
notorious one is 6-2, but other than that,
yeah, and 6-2 only really saved a couple seconds, so it doesn't really end up being worth it anyway.
also really smooth 3K.
Yeah, that was perfect. That was great.
Alright, 2 for 3 on K level so far. Not
Yeah,
bad.
that's good. That's not bad. Those are the hardest in the game, so we're good. Three boss is super fun. Everyone's favorite boss. Everyone's.
Like I said before, if you want to check out how this boss works, go to Not So Novice Highlights. You'll learn a lot.
Yeah, this is
so basically for this guy, you can optimize pretty much all phases like really easily. I mean, pretty much phases 1 and 3. You wanna hit them on the heads with Cranky because he's the only one who can when they're swinging their hammers like that. And what you wanna do on phase 1 is pretty much kill them as fast as possible, and that's pretty much the fastest way. The pain is that on phase 2 it can give you a lot of different patterns, like a lot. And some of those patterns are really slow no matter what you do.
Yeah, it looks like
okay, that guy came down, and the other one as well. Oh, almost got it.
That's actually pretty good RNG.
Yeah.
but,
yeah. Both the monkeys came down the poles pretty far, which means he was able to actually hit them with the cane. Because if they stay up really high, you can't do anything. You have to wait for them to throw bombs and goof off, and it's really slow and bad.
Okay, no, almost.
It's okay. It's still a pretty good phase 2, honestly.
Yeah,
Nothing went horribly wrong.
it wasn't the worst.
I've had worse, honestly.
Like it's really tricky because like when they are on the poles, they can do a lot of stuff. They can remain really high on the poles. They can stick out their tongue and mock you. They can hide. They can throw those red bombs and keep on play and stay in place, or throw the red bombs and hide. It's really a mess. So It wasn't the worst by any means. Although Newbie is famous for getting the worst luck pretty much every time, so that's pretty sad.
Just saying, Kruncha's not newbie.
Oh.
Yeah, Kruncha was fine.
All right, nice fight.
Oh, okay, good enough.
Yep, still pretty good.
All right, we just got a donation. Yeah, we got $20 from Rizukun saying, "There, fixed it. Now Paula's named Jeff."
Nice. All right, so the strat for 4-1, it's pretty interesting. The story behind it, at least. Back at AGDQ 2015, when this game got in, when in the hotel room, Kruncha and Spike and I were goofing around with this level, and we assumed you had to do it twice because there's 2 exits, but we figured out a way to just do it in 1 exit by backtracking the entire level after getting the G. And we thought it was only possible with Heart Boost item, but then DKS was able to figure out you can do it without it. It's just super risky now. So it's now become a really challenging level. You also finally get to see Diddy underwater kind of do his thing, which is go super fast.
Yeah, we wanna basically keep Diddy in the level and switch to Dixie at the second barrel. No, at the third one.
Yeah.
But the thing is, even if we go really, really fast, and I tested it a bunch, you can't actually. It's really close, but you can't actually make a really early Dixie cycle. So pretty much, Kruncha can lose 2 seconds and still be fine because he needs to grab a Dixie cycle, which is later on.
Yeah, shoutouts to underwater controls being incredibly difficult to learn.
Yeah, I still have a pretty rough time with swimming, as watchers of my stream know very well.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get a
Okay,
heart.
so-
Well,
Okay, so everything has gone pretty good so far. So he should get on the Dixie part of the barrel, I think. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, Cranky.
Yeah, he's pretty
Also,
early there.
that's-
You have some time.
That's the normal cycle. Like I said, you can't actually make that Dixie cycle. You can get to it, like, so you can watch it, but you can actually get the Dixie. And you might be wondering, why do we get Dixie? And it's because the Kung Pao. The Kung Pao is this trick that you will see or saw here, and it lets you turn all the minor enemies into hearts, and not only hearts but golden hearts we can stack up. So now Kruncha has 8 possible hits. But the thing is that the secret exit, you have to swim against a current, so you must not lose Dixie. And to not lose her, that means you only need to get hit 5 times, and that's the tricky part.
yeah, so if I get hit unintentionally anywhere here, then it's going to be a big time loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, the minimum hits you
It's
take
a
is
little
5.
tight. Okay.
You're good, you're good.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's good. Basically, on that section is the tricky one because the cycles line up perfectly. Like, it's really crazy. Like, the invulnerability ends like exactly like 1 frame earlier you take damage.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing, honestly. And
Especially because
that
it's
is
a completely unintended trick.
yeah.
They definitely don't mean for you to go all the way back to the secret exit after getting
like-
to almost the end of the level.
Yeah, it's really like baffling that this is possible at all.
Right. It's very cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, nicely
Yeah.
done. Wow.
Even for all the time that takes, it saves about how much? Like almost a minute on.
Yeah, it saves a
going through the
bunch.
level twice, which
Yeah,
is
there-
mostly like the time spent in the level is almost the same, but because doing the level twice involves menus and loading screens, it's like a lot of time.
Yep, it's true. Yeah, so we're cutting out like 2 loading screens, which is already like 15 seconds right there.
Yeah. So that went pretty smooth, and this is one of the levels we have, and that is not an auto-scroller. And for luckily us, it's a really cool level actually.
Yep, it's fun to do this level twice. You get to do it in 2 different ways as well.
Yeah, exactly. You do it the first time, like any percent, we don't get any Kong letters, and we get to the secret exit by switching to Cranky. And the second time we do it like the IL, which is collecting all the letters. Well, that's for Hando, obviously, and with Diddy all the way.
Yeah, this level is cool too. You get to use all 3 Kongs in this level, which is rare. Start with Dixie, switch to Diddy for the first underwater section, and then you grab Cranky for the secret exit setup.
Screwing out the secret exit setup with Cranky is particularly brutal.
Yeah, you really only have 1 shot to do it. Then you have to kind of go really far back and reset cycles, and even then you don't reset all the cycles.
Nicely done.
Yeah, that was solid.
Yeah, it's one of those levels that either goes perfectly fine or it's a huge mess.
Mm-hmm.
All right. While the loading screen's going on, I got a couple donations here.
Yo.
I got a $50 donation and a $20 donation. Even though it says anonymous, I know who exactly this is. This is Light Eagle. He says in both comments, name Paula Doof, and Paula is Doof. $70 for Doof.
Jump down to that lower platform so I can skip across the water to get the K easily.
Yeah, that's a good setup for sure for that.
Yeah.
If you roll under and you don't get the K, then you get hit by enemies and it's just a hot mess. So
I like to split these levels, like I do 4A, 4B, and then 4A again, because it saves like half a second or something, but it's not a big deal by any measure.
yeah.
And it's a bit harder as well, so it's really not a big deal.
Yeah, by doing it twice in a row, you kind of already have a feel for the level, so it's kind of like just more practice. So you're still in the groove of doing it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pause here to not lose. I guess it doesn't matter actually. It's probably a little bit faster.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's okay. That was good.
Yeah, the reason it doesn't, you do want Diddy at the beginning of this next level. The reason it doesn't matter, actually, if we have Diddy or not, is that I'm going to be using 2-player strats now.
Ooh,
Got another
what?
ready to go. And so bringing in a second controller automatically gives you Diddy.
So this is a trick from any percent as well, if you know, where you can go out of bounds and skip this entire level. And turns out there's also a route to do it in Hundo and get the letters as well as being out of bounds. So we'll see how it works. You want to explain, DKS, how this works a little bit?
Yeah. Actually, we used to get these letters like bounce and then clip and do the any percent stuff, but Kruncha came up with an idea of separating the Kongs and send Diddy to grab the letters. And it actually, I optimized it later and it actually works out pretty well, but it's really finicky. Especially, nice clip there.
Yep.
Especially since, well, both Kruncha and me, so
Right. Oh, please pick him up.
I know the pain of this.
Oh, okay. All right.
You use,
Whoa! What is happening?
so, oh god. So, Kruncha and me use the Pro controller as the second player, and sadly the stick feels really different from the gamepad, so the angles are changed.
Oh no.
Okay.
I
So
think
that
that's
makes
enough.
this trick particularly difficult.
Okay.
Okay, it's tricky. So DK is still out of bounds. You have to keep him out there, and then take control of him later to focus back in on him as the first player.
Exactly.
Like
You have to manage
switching-
position. You to manage the air meter. It's really easy to fail, I guess.
Yeah. And you can bring Kongs back inbounds by going in, but you can't bring them back out.
Yeah.
Because there's obviously a wall. It's a one-way wall, so.
Yeah, Kruncha's pretty much on the clear right now. He only needs to get the G.
Yep.
But like I said, there are a lot of ways of messing this up, especially since the Wii U Pro controller and gamepad thing, because the angles just feel different. So it's really hard to adjust for both of
Yeah.
those angles.
Yeah, well done, Kruncha, for getting that first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
amazing.
that was really cool, yeah.
I've been messing that up in a ton of my runs, so I'm really glad I got that.
Yeah.
No problems.
Yeah.
Probably would have been a gold split for. Oops. Gotta drop second controller. Oh, no, not quick game.
Don't quit. Well, I'm done, guys.
We're not done.
Yeah, so a lot of people use the nunchuck for that trick, and it's really nice because that feels a lot more like the gamepad angles, so it's a bit easier.
Yeah.
And besides, you get the benefit or the nunchuck. You can grab just the nunchuck itself, so you can really easily grab two controllers at once.
So now we're on to the levels that are not at 90%, that are considered some of the best levels in the game, actually. A lot of
Yeah,
people
they are
really enjoy
amazing.
them. They're great. It's too bad we don't get to do them at 80%. Like, this is Ghoul's favorite auto-scroller of all time. And then there's two really good underwater levels. One we like to call the real boss of World 4. But we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, you also get to see this pretty sick camera angle, like shoulder camera angle, I guess,
Yeah, it's nice.
which is really amazing. Like again, you really wanna like jump up slopes, but there are not many slopes on this level. So pretty much what you want is jump as late as possible on large gaps, which can be tricky. And I've died on this level just because, like, I guess the perspective, it's a bit confusing sometimes.
Okay, there's a challenge up here for anyone watching. If you can get this N without, or I mean, sorry, not get the N,
Yo, nice,
Nice crap.
amazing.
then we will be very impressed.
I'll give you money.
Someone clip that, please.
Yeah, that it is like impossible not to get. So yeah, if you can get it without dying, or if you can not get it without dying, then I will give you money. So these levels coming up, we also used to use items. Again, it was just for safety. So we'd add extra Diddy barrels or extra heart boost items, just so you wouldn't die or ever lose Diddy. But you don't really need them, so.
Yeah, and that's pretty much because the next two levels are basically 100% water levels, and the DD barrel on this level is like out the middle, and on the next level is really like later in the level. So we pretty much want to start with DD and keep it all the way.
Yeah, we wanted the entirety of these two levels. And there is some intentional damage boosting as well, so it makes it a little bit harder. This is also probably my favorite looking level. It's kind of a mix of the silhouette levels and the regular levels, but it's all underwater too, so it looks really cool.
It actually reminds me a lot of, if you ever played Rayman, Origins, for example. those had some really crazy underwater levels with the darkness too.
It's a cool design. I like it a lot.
Okay, Kruncha took an unintentional hit right there. That means he'll have to adjust a bit later, but he should be fine.
There is a heart that, well, the hearts and treasure chests in the underwater levels are not always hearts, so I have to kind of hope over here. Okay, got it.
It's a good strat there.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Nice.
Yeah, it's not always a heart, which is the problem.
Yeah.
And we're gonna recover another heart so we can take another damage boost over here. I took that a little early. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Oh,
Yeah,
Diddy, no.
Got a little bit.
yeah.
yeah. That has happened to me a lot, so I babbied that part of it.
Yeah, just goes to show how much faster Diddy is underwater. Like,
Yeah, you can see that DK is not really up to the task as much.
Yeah, the fastest you can go underwater with DK is using like the swim cancel technique, where you cancel your breaststroke with a spin, and you do that over and over, so you keep the full speed. Because if you're just breaststroking, you lose a little bit of speed at the end of each one. So that's kind of our technique with DK. But yeah, again, it's not as fast.
all right,
Yeah, it actually
4-4.
really hits in this level because I can't pick up another Diddy until pretty late in the level. So yeah, we'll just have to go for a lot of it.
Yeah, Kruncha will have to get Dixie. With reason they decided the first 2 barrels on this level are going to be Dixie barrels, which is kind of unfortunate. And what sucks as well is that, well, since corkscrewing is the, like, I guess the second fastest way of movement underwater, it makes the Kong's hitbox a lot larger. So Kruncha will have to pretty much squeeze through. Oh, really nice right there.
Yeah, that's really hard.
Yeah, especially with the corkscrew, like that far back. We'll have to squeeze some really tight places with spikes and stuff.
Here he is.
Yep, so this is what we call the real boss of World 4. It's a really well-designed level, actually, in this sense.
Yeah, this is part of the reason why I wanted Hundo in the marathon, is because the levels in this world in particular are amazing.
They're very cool, yeah. Like, so you have to time your hits here, and time your spins, and dodge things. Or not dodge things.
Also, that O is super unfair on casual play.
Oh, yeah.
Like you just want to mash your way out of that scary octopus, I guess, and you end up missing it. And it's right before a checkpoint, so you can't actually die and do it again.
So we finally got Diddy back, which is good.
You can squeeze between those tentacles, but that's good.
Almost.
Yeah, there's a lot
you
of
need a
tight
pretty tight angle.
refill the
Nice.
Diddy. Alright, the last little section
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah, it's really it's a lot safer to have 2 hard. This section right here is really scary because you mess up a small thing and everything gets messed up.
Krunch is nailing it though, super well.
Amazing.
That was great through that section for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
there-
those like circles, spikes, load lots, so like so.
Yeah, and the fact that he was able to get through that place without taking a single hit, he was able to damage boost to that last little tentacle there.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Super well done at the end there.
So the hard levels are not over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're not
Like-
done?
Yeah. So personally, I consider World 4 to be the most difficult world in 100%. It's really difficult to do all the levels optimally, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure Kruncha agrees, but I'm.
Like I said,
Yeah,
I'm not a
so-
big fan of swimming. Fortunately, I don't have a whole lot of it in this level, but this level is hard for other reasons.
Oh, this level is brutal. There's
Yeah,
a
this-
lot of little things that can, if you screw up just slightly, you're getting whacked by the panels in the
Yeah.
background. Explosions everywhere.
Yeah. That old grab itself is kind of tricky. You have to like time your direction switch and jump at the same time. And this section right here, you have to do some medium jumps, which are always tricky. And also this end, got it. Really
That's
nice.
That's okay. That worked out pretty well still.
I think I might miss this cycle. Ooh. Okay, got it. Oh, let's get out of the pit.
Yeah. That's basically the earliest DD cycle you can get. You wanna get that DD because the next level starts on water, so you really want to start with DD.
Oh, and
That's
that,
great skip.
yeah,
That was pretty good though. Overall, really good.
yeah. And with
Yeah.
that, I can celebrate that little victory there with another donation. This time we've got $70 from Balthazar228 saying $10 for each nameable thing in Earthbound to be named Jeff. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze and Bayonetta were the 2 reasons I bought a Wii U. Investment worth it.
I think so.
Yeah, I have both of those. Well, I have to get a new copy of Tropical Freeze still, but I'm getting there.
Okay, so this level was pretty much always done with the shop items, and that's because the cycles pretty much are a pain. Like they work fine in any percent, but
Yeah, and the letters
Okay.
are in really
Yeah.
awkward places, like right between a lot of things you have to take hits.
Exactly.
Coming up
especially
here.
the K and the O.
Yeah.
So we used to have well, I never did, but they used to have a hard boost on this section, so you had an extra hit on Diddy, which was extremely helpful. But the solution to that is doing that compound that kills those tentacles, and if Kruncha is very precise on this swimming section,
That was really
he
good.
should be able to grab the same DD cycle as any percent, because during a Kung Pao, the barrel cycles don't advance, I guess. So
Yeah, everything freezes in the game,
exactly,
so it only costs you
So-
real time to do it.
exactly. So since it's impossible to get the any percent cycle anyway, it ends up saving time, because underwater barrel cycles are 6 seconds.
Whew.
Got it.
Let's do that.
Oh, you got it.
Okay. Yeah.
So I took an intentional hit.
Ah.
Yeah. On a piece of the
Double
tentacle
thumb.
arm. The problem with the Kong Pao is you have to have 100 bananas to refill the full meter to use the Kong Pao. So kind of once you use it once in a level, you can't use it another time, or else it'd be a good spot there to use it as well, just for safety.
Yeah, I
You're
was
taking a hit
thinking
already.
like saving the Kung Pao for that section, but it doesn't work out
Yeah.
because of the K.
Right. I mean, you'd only really use it there if you needed it, like in that case where you took a hit by accident.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of shame losing D because it makes the level, it's a K level, a bit tougher. Crunch is pretty good at it, but still you want a partner.
Yeah.
Is there no barrel in this one?
Nope.
Oh, that's brutal, yeah.
Yeah. And it's really like having a partner doesn't help this one go any faster. Really, you can do it solo DK just as fast as with a partner, but it's definitely not fun.
It's much harder, yeah.
By the way, I remember when I was watching Kruncha practice the other day, I was shocked when I found out Kung Pao actually destroys his tentacles.
Yeah.
That's
Actually, a few people know about that. Like, I don't know who was it, but they had Cranky on that section, and Cranky can swing his cane underwater. and he did that by accident, and they killed the tentacles, and I was shocked. So I thought, well, if Cranky can kill them, the Cloud should kill them too. So it did, and it worked out.
Yep. So you gotta take this a little bit safe. Obviously, he has no fluttering safety.
Yeah. Kruncha does this a lot more ballsy than I did.
Yeah. Still really, really good. So.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, that can take multiple tries without a partner. Even
3
one
out of
small
4.
screw up, and you fall right in the lava most of the time.
Yeah, lava of course is a one-hit KO.
Just like every other video game.
No,
Joke.
Super Mario 64 is really useful.
That's
Imagine if we could do that. Like we
Holy
fall in
cow.
the lava and get shot like 10 meters.
oh my gosh.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Retro, please patch this game. I don't even want an in-game timer anymore. I just want that. All right, here's my favorite boss, Fugu.
I
My
don't-
second favorite boss.
I have no idea how your brain works. How could you even think that?
Okay, so Kruncha has had the world record for a long time. I mean, he hasn't. He doesn't have it right now.
Oh no! Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
Yeah,
I could die here, and that would probably be the smarter choice, but
I don't know if you'll get a heart.
I definitely won't.
Yeah. The way the setup works is, oh my gosh, this is great. If you hide behind him with Solo DK, as long as a heart didn't spawn somewhere else and hide itself, you'll get a heart every single time.
Oh, I shouldn't have put it there.
But it won't work now because the heart has
Yeah,
hit
you
into
can
the
do
wall
it.
and it's there
Well,
forever.
it's tricky.
Oh, okay. I was freaking out over nothing apparently.
Oh, did you get a heart? Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. Cool.
Yeah,
Sometimes it does give you a heart, which is great.
I could have sworn I saw it go in the wall.
yeah, it
Look at
goes,
that.
but
Now there's
if
two
it,
hearts.
if it
Oh,
goes, if it goes like really far into the wall, it's no problem. It's like
Yeah.
when like gets stuck like on the edge. That is the problem.
Right.
Yeah, really strange.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Still
that
nice
worked out.
recovery.
And yeah, he's able to beat the boss a lot faster than like the 3 minutes that it intends you to take.
Yeah.
It ends up being less than a minute, which is great. When you can hide behind him and just like poke him from the back.
Yeah, so the positioning for that boss is really finicky. That's why he slightly messed up phase. I don't even know if it was a mess up. Like Fugu sometimes does weird stuff.
Yeah.
This level is notoriously difficult in terms of execution. Like you have to press so many buttons.
Yeah.
Also, you will be taking an intentional damage boost. But he also wants to Dixie, so he wanna make sure he does.
Oh, okay. Let's try that again. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. It's tricky to make that jump as well.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think the intended way for that is to ride the other platform off the edge and wait for it to fall. But
Yeah,
it's
it is.
better to just roll jump.
We don't do intended stuff here,
It's too slow.
like this end. Like that's
Yeah.
really cool, actually. And I'm pretty sure Ghoul suggested that idea.
Yeah.
What? Give gold credit anything? No, can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
You can just roll across these gaps if you have a partner.
Yeah, nice. Nice, so he kept Dixie, which is really good for not the next level, but rather the beginning of 5-3.
Yeah.
It goes a lot smoother with Dixie.
I've been having to do solo DK at the beginning of 5-3 so often. I might get thrown off here, actually.
But well, actually on the last week or so, Kruncha had an amazing 5-3 that he actually highlighted. So
Yes,
you guys should check it out.
Should be the first highlight in the list.
Yeah, it's really really good. Some really cool strats, I guess.
Oh man.
Anybody else still hungry for oranges? Just me?
I'm good.
Yep, just you.
Okay, on this level you can see as well that it's a rocket barrel, but you also get the cool dynamic angle, which helps a lot because you have to avoid several hazards.
Yeah.
And I've always think of this level that being kind of unfair because I'm pretty sure you can't actually react to a lot of this stuff. But one day Goldfish told me that, like, I don't know how you call them, like blueberries, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or raspberries or something.
Yeah, okay. Raspberries always go like on the bottom path,
Yeah.
and the peaches or oranges, I guess, go on the upper side. So if you notice that, it becomes a lot easier. Which
Right, that's
obviously I
your
never
little-
noticed.
Your little cue.
Yeah. And actually, that's how you are supposed to know the unfair blade thing, which
Yeah.
comes now. Like,
Yep.
see that's not supposed to be down there, so you have to go there. It's pretty cool. But again, like, I don't know, like, not many people know about that little fact.
Yep. It's kind of a little subtle cue that your brain would hopefully recognize at some point in life of playing this level 100 times. But it's a cool little design anyway. Little design trick.
Also, shoutouts to Kirby Masta for grinding this level.
Shoutouts, Kirby Master.
Kirby Master, why would you do this to yourself?
Well, Miles grinded 3-5, so which one's worse?
I'll get back to you on that question.
So you also start to see a little storyline in this world going on where the penguins are collecting fruit and now they mash it all up and you're getting some fruit juice going. But why are they making fruit juice?
For the master.
Oh, well, we'll have to see. Unfortunately, we skipped my favorite cutscene, which is the intro to Bashmaster.
It is so.
Okay, so like Kruncha said, he hasn't done the intro with Dixie for a long time, so hopefully it goes well.
Hair spin up here. And then jumping in between to not get hit by that axe is a little bit tricky.
It's okay, it worked out well.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yep.
Ooh. Yo.
Whoa, okay.
Damageless. It's almost impossible.
Oh,
Oh, never mind. It's dead.
I'm dumb.
That would have probably thrown me off too.
Yeah, that threw me off a lot as well.
Yeah, that messed up some cycles there, sadly. But not a big deal. There's a barrel coming up. And you don't really need cranking. Well, you kind of need it for this part, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and near the end there's Dixie anyway that we take.
No, secret exit.
Oh, we use secret exit. Oh yeah, I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
I haven't done Hundo in a while, so perfect cranky grab. Nice. Good enough.
Yeah, Yeah,
Oh.
the important thing about that grab is to not get Diddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah,
Good idea.
he can't even make the exit.
Yeah, you can, but
Oh, from the
it's-
far side.
it's Diddy. Yeah.
That's true.
Suddenly, Diddy's like, I get the UUs? No, we got crickets. Okay.
So once again, any of these where we can backtrack from the G secret exit, we're not going to have to repeat. So that was 5-3.
Okay. So, if you wanted your obligatory Donkey Kong Country 2 shout-out level, here it is.
Yeah, we like to call this one Tropical Bees.
Tropical bees.
You only get like half this many puns, Tropical Freeze puns in any percent. Just one more reason that Hundo is this superior category.
Yeah, so this level, you can see momentum conservation, but not as the same type as before. Like, you see these, how do you say this, like honeycombs or whatever?
Yeah, they'd be honeycombs.
Okay, so those move. So if you jump while grabbing, you keep the same speed as them. So that's pretty useful in some places. So
Yeah, these jumps are.
Across these little spiked fruits hanging from the honey in the IL, but since we gotta grab the N, I gotta
Yeah.
ride the B.
Gotta ride
Exactly.
the bee.
and it's pretty weird because you grab that grass from the bee. I mean, I'm sure it's consistent, but it's like you can't actually grab the whole grass area, I think. And if you miss the first ride, the second ride, I'm pretty sure it doesn't work, or it works like really badly.
Here comes the big finish.
The roll.
The goldfish!
Nice.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. The old strat was waiting and then doing like a super janky jump back and forth to get that G.
All right, on to the level which I call was my personal choke moment. I choked on this level so hard so many times.
You choked on what? On runs?
Yeah.
Jamboree! Okay, so in this level, in any percent is super tough because you need to grab the secret exit. I mean, you need to get to the secret exit, and you'll be doing it with Diddy. And if you lose Diddy, it's pretty much run over because you have to go to another level. It's awful. On Hando, Hando, it doesn't get any easier, but
Oh no!
oh god,
Okay.
Kruncha, please.
The shark is coming.
Rough time here.
Okay, now, since Kruncha is on one heart, he has to. Well, he can still be okay because he has to do this level twice. So for one time, he wants to grab all the Kong letters and get the secret exit, and for the second time, he wants to just get to the regular exit. So he can switch those up or mix them up, but
Yeah.
the goals have to be achieved no matter what.
It looks like he's opting for just getting the Kong letters on the second trip.
Yep. Because I took a hit with Diddy, you have to take a hit over there to get the N, because you're swimming
Yeah.
against the fruits that are coming toward you. So I'm gonna get the exit this time, and then pick up the Kong letters next time.
Yeah, definitely the hardest like route, I guess, would getting all the letters, and that's really like input heavy and difficult, I guess. But since he got the secret exit out of the way, even if he will lose Diddy on the next, like on the next attempt, he will still be able to finish the level.
Yeah, you saw there too. Diddy was going through that strong current that really technically Dixie's only supposed to go through. But there's a way to do it where you can get mini boosts and cancel them pretty quickly to get a little bit of distance every time. So Diddy can technically now do do strong currents as well. Pretty unintended though.
Why are the bee puns still going on in chat? I don't understand.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Tropical Bees is awesome.
I'm surprised Kid Remaster wasn't part of the buns.
Kirby Master or Sprite?
Like, who is on his account? Like, this is not normal. Okay, so like I said, this time he will want to hopefully don't get any hits on Diddy on the first section, so he can damage boost on the end part.
That's how that was supposed to go the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really smooth when you do it too.
Yeah, again, like worst case scenario, he can still get the normal exit with just solo DK, but it's much slower through the underwater section.
Yeah, but like I said, that's not that bad as a worst case scenario.
Right, exactly.
We've had cases like we have to, like, basically we lose Diddy twice, so that's means pretty much we have to exit level.
Yeah.
And it's awful. Like that's like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's till the end, and as you can see, it's a pretty tight fit, even to not
That
get
was
twice there.
super close, yeah.
Yeah, I prefer to the first fruit go and then get the damage boost on the second one, but I'm pretty sure what Kruncha does is a bit faster.
I'm gonna have to wait here. Messed up that section a little bit.
Yeah, played safe. Yeah, that's good. No normal exit, and he's fine.
Yep.
As much as we make fun of Dizzy in this game, it's no joke just how much faster he is underwater.
Yeah, he's definitely huge underwater there.
Yeah. We are done with him though, aren't we?
I think we might be.
Yeah, we are.
Alright, Diddy's done. That's it.
See you later, nephew.
Yeah.
So if you ever see Diddy again, it's because Kruncha decided to grab him back because he's a nice guy. It's not it's not by any means an accident. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, optimally we shouldn't be able to, we won't watch him again after this switch to Dixie. Nice intro.
Yep. So normally the jelly and all the bouncing objects also make you lose speed, but if you bounce on them at just the right timing, in some levels you saw it already, you get to keep all your forward speed. So, so it's a
also
nice
you
intro
can
there to
do, yeah. Also on this level you can do it with Diddy, but yeah, it's safer to do it with Dixie because of the extra height that she gives you.
Yeah,
Right.
the O is pretty high up there, as you saw, so it's a little bit easier to grab with Dixie.
Also, the tech for this is pretty much like get to sections on platforms that you can roll as soon as possible and roll off them and keep that rolling speed if you can.
Yeah, it's
That's
much faster than
the
bouncing.
Yellow Tower. That's a
Jello Tower.
There's always room for more Jello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, a cool fact, I guess, is that on the IL, the IL is done actually with Diddy, and that's because Diddy's hover is a lot more linear, so it's easier to anticipate where is he gonna land. And Dixie is kind of like he goes down and up, so pretty much since Diddy can cross the gaps just fine, they prefer to do it with him.
Honestly, that level is kind of a nice little breather after the last one, which is chaotic.
Right. And stressful for losing Diddy. Yeah. NK likes to say that level is magical and slow.
Okay, so from Jelly we go to Jam. This level is particularly difficult in Hando because, I mean, not difficult per se, but doing it optimally is really, there's a really tight cycle that Kruncha needs to get, which is bouncing, doing a light bounce on an enemy and then getting through the section before. We'll see if he gets it.
That's the hardest part right there, getting the bounces up there, not have to put the platforms up.
Yeah, I got it.
So you gotta get this. Oh, okay. Getting hit there should be okay.
We'll see. Yeah, I always take a hit normally, so yeah, so like that shot on that like Baron. Holy shit!
Wow. What's happening?
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I was so scared. What happened? Yeah, so that button, like I said, it's different for 30%, but it works out better because of that, the position of the O, I guess, or the O.
Yeah.
Okay, 5-6 uses. Well, we can take advantage of springs plus ice physics to get insane amounts of speed.
Yeah, there's a lot of momentum in here that you try to conserve.
Yeah, which make this one of, if not my favorite level. And even though optimally you want to use Cranky, Dixie works out pretty cool as well. I mean, the Dixie route is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, they're both good.
I like this level, but at the same time, the ice physics kind of are tricky to master.
They are.
Yeah, for sure. Like you can see how Kruncha like had a lot more after the watermelon spring. Oh snap! That was fast.
He's going fast, you say. Go tell him more.
Yeah, I didn't know you can do that.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
So here's some more big speed.
Oh, okay. Let's get that G.
Yeah. Also, since like we said earlier, Chop losing Dixie here is probably the most costly thing you can do.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Because that would mean that Kruncha would have to do 5k without Dixie, and that's just so much worse.
It's okay. The chat believes in you.
Yeah.
They truly.
You're not helping.
5k is notoriously, I think, one of the hardest K levels. Historically, at
K
least.
level.
What's that?
This is my favorite K level.
It is Crunch's favorite. There's also a trick we call the Crunchy in this level. Involving Dixie to skip a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Pretty much this is the level which Dixie skips a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Everything was worried by Kruncha himself, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that was good.
Okay, that's an early cycle. He can get. You can also get that with solo DK, but it's a lot more difficult.
Yeah, a lot riskier.
Yeah.
Okay. Did a little wall there, which scared me, but
Got that as well. So far, 2-on-2 on early cycles. Here comes the third one.
this is one of my favorite sections.
Yeah, I hate this section. Like, yeah, got it. Like 3-4-3. This is amazing. So,
Yeah, this is solid.
so that section is really difficult because you have to know like exactly where is the platform gonna
Alright.
be.
So, coming up here, there's gonna be 3 owls that I'm gonna jump on. Sending the owls. I want us to yell crunchy. Ready? Here we go. Crunchy.
Crunchy.
Sorry about that. that's as mandatory as the phonograph itself.
Yeah, yeah. You have to. That's part of the run.
Yeah.
Nice.
Amazing 5K.
Really good 5K. Literally perfect.
I'm extremely happy with that.
That was great. Wow. Amazing. Crunchy.
Yeah, that trick is called the crunchy.
Yeah.
In case you weren't sure.
Yeah, so out of all those like early cycles Kruncha did, you can do only 2 of them on the IL and with solo DK. But the other 2 ones, which were the last 2 ones, I guess, those are Dixie exclusive.
Yeah. All right. So all this juice, and you saw it was being made into popsicles in the last couple of levels. And the boss here is just eating a popsicle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, DK accidentally knocked it out of his hands. Oops.
Right. In the cutscene, he falls down, it falls in the water, and then he's pretty angry at you. So he attacks you.
Yeah. He's so mad. Look at him.
He just wanted his popsicle.
Yeah.
DK ruined everything.
Also, this fight has, well, we haven't talked about RNG that much, but this fight has 7 seconds total of RNG. He got bad luck on the first part, which only is 2 seconds, but the most important part of this boss is getting the invisible bounces.
Yeah, I'm 0 for 2 so far.
0 for 2! Yeah. But basically, regardless of if the run is good or not, if you get an invisible bounce, then it's all good, basically.
Yeah.
At least for Kruncha standards. I don't even know how to do them, so...
If I don't get one, I'll explain what it is after, but I want you to see it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pay attention, like, on the seemingly random bounces Kruncha does after each hit. Ah. Come on, just one.
Something else though is really cool. I look about this boss arena too is the way the room kind of slowly spins around. You don't even really notice it while you're playing the game.
Okay, I wasn't counting. What was that? 5 jump or 6?
I wasn't counting either.
I never count.
Okay. So basically, if Bashmaster jumps a total of 5 times, it saves 5 seconds over him jumping 6 times. And it's 100% random as well.
Yeah. There's no RNG manipulation in this game
Yeah.
that we know of yet.
So that's kind of what. Uh-oh. Okay, that.
Uh-oh.
Well, the bomb passed him off, so I got crushed by the ice. That means this will take a little bit longer at the end here. I'm gonna have to hit him with.
Yeah, that's like a 15-second time loss, I think. I'm not sure actually. But yeah, that bomb throw, if you are very fast, you can throw it before the next ice cube comes out. But if you are a bit slow, that bomb gets caught up in the ice.
Looks like I'm gonna end up losing Cranky here as well. which is not a huge deal. Just means I have to pick him up in 6-1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ouch. That was cranky.
no big deal. The last hit is pretty fast.
Yeah. It's also worth noting this boss is really equally as fast with or without a partner. It's just we want really to make it a little bit easier with Cranky, and we want to have him for the next level. So
Yeah.
we can still do all the same stuff with Solo DK.
Yeah, so
Yep.
Kruncha, what were the invisible battles?
Kruncha?
Oh, what's that? Oh, yeah, I didn't get any, unfortunately. Oh yeah, so yeah, the invisible bounce is basically like where if you bounce around the area where Bashmaster's hammer just was, like where he pounded it into the ground, then like the hitbox just reappears for like a split second, and you can like actually bounce off of thin air.
It's funny looking.
Yeah.
All right, we're now in World 6, where we return to DK's home island, which is completely frozen over.
Nice DK heads.
Oh, bad.
Oh,
Yeah. This is the worst thing ever in the game.
yeah.
No matter how much you practice it, anybody, any runner, you're
Yeah,
not
basically
just randomly dying to it.
Guilty.
Yeah, if you get a bit too anxious on that cannon shot, you'll go a bit too early, like fearing that you would miss that, and
Right.
it ends up you going too early and not making it. Because that's basically what happens. Like every one of us know how to do it, but sometimes the nerves make us go too fast there.
Right. It's just a small window of time that you have also. That was good. To get the letter there.
Also, I think this was a level done with items.
I think it was done with like a green balloon or something. The worst
Oh
item.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of how punishing this run can be, a lot of us used to do it with green balloons from the shop, which are items that allow you to, if you fall off a cliff, then the green balloon will float you back up.
Yeah.
So it's very shameful because there's no place in the game that they're actually there. So if you bought them, then you're really just buying them for safety.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jayhubs was really adamant on getting rid of them further out.
Yeah.
And
They
actually
are
it worked.
slower and useless. And now they're gone. So there you go.
Yeah, like I think Goldfish did the same green balloonless run, and then I think Kruncha got a deathless run and decided to stop using them.
Yep.
Because at that point, if you get a deathless run, like you're basically good enough, right? Like they're not gonna save you anytime.
Right.
That's actually something really cool to say about this run as a whole. If anybody of you are interested in learning this game as a speedrun, there are safety strats. There are little things that you don't have to do just to go faster. Sure, you want to go fast, but if you just want to learn the game and have a good time, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, there's a good amount of flexibility.
No! You have to go for the fastest strat every time. What are you talking about? Why are
Well,
you
you're just
telling
so-
these people? No, honestly, it's fine. you can still enjoy the game. I mean, this category, I guess, is a bit tougher to enjoy with slow strat because it's much slower.
Uh-oh.
Pogo! Oh god.
Okay, it's all good. It's all good. Didn't lose Cranky, so there you go. Oh, this section is great with Cranky, or else you have to pull a plug and wait like 30 seconds for a boat. You have to ride the whole way.
That was pretty crazy.
That was solid still, yeah, for sure. Even with the almost dying in the ice water. Oh, the water in this level also acts just like lava, so you touch it and you get hurt. Actually, no, this acts more like the Mario 64 lava,
Yeah, kinda.
honestly. Where you bounce
Like,
back up.
If it doesn't kill you, it like throws you to the nearest platform that you can stand.
Yeah, so nice like that.
Yeah, which also is helpful if we lose Cranky because we can actually still like quote unquote skip riding the boat but you have to take a damage boost, and it's really, really finicky as well.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult.
Mhm.
So this level's notorious also for having only a Diddy barrel, and Diddy is definitely
What
the
was
worst
that?
partner.
Wow.
Many runners that have come from the previous level without Cranky has had to pick up that Diddy barrel of shame.
There it is.
Yep. Diddy of shame, right there.
Yeah.
No shame here, though.
Yeah. So with Cranky, these levels goes pretty. Except like those small detours for the N and the G, but the rest of it was pretty much the same as any percent.
Yeah. Again, that's a good thing about this category, is there really aren't too many deviations, at least in the 80% levels.
Oh yeah,
But
That's
enough to
what-
make it interesting still, which is good.
Yeah, one of the things I actually really like doing in this game, because there are time attacks for every level. So even if you don't want to do like a full run like Crunch is doing or anything, just practicing ILs is still insanely fun.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, $55 from J Hob saying, reminder that green balloons. I can't say that word's creations. Somebody's name got fact checked.
Yeah.
I legitimately don't know what he meant to say. It was devil.
Nice, Hobbs, nice.
Devil got censored, really?
Well, he used to call them that instead of devil, he used a word like that started with a B. So this is kind of an improvement, I guess.
Yeah. Slowly getting better.
Yeah. Devil sounds more esports or whatever.
Yep.
The giant purple turd from Returns.
Hey,
Ah, yes.
may you freeze forever in hell, you stupid bat.
Bat.
Also, there are a lot of like frozen enemies from 6. That is the most notorious one because everyone remembers him because he was a douche.
Yeah.
But there are a lot more. Like there's a robot from World 7.
Yeah,
There
no
are
one
some-
remembers that.
Yeah, there are some spiders from 6. I mean 5, and so on. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is also the last, I think, boring auto-scroller in the game. There's one more in World 7, but it's pretty awesome and full of tech, so it's cool. So once this is done, we're in the clear for break time, and it's all action.
As we finish up this auto-scroller, it looks like NKB wanted me to say something about the story of this game.
Oh god.
So, you saw how, like,
Gameplay memes.
we skipped over a lot of the intro screens, but, like, you can see in some of the intro screens, like in 2-1, for instance, like, a lot of the enemies are just, like, trying to, you know, saw some wood and bake bread and stuff like that. They're just, like, kind of trying to build a life out here. So,
They just got rid of the savages off the island of Zal, you know.
yeah, and so this is the story of how a bunch of immigrants come to DK Island, but then he makes it great again.
That's DK's job.
Oh, look, a shop! Use the shop! Use the shop! Oh.
We're not using the shop.
We're not. This level is also notoriously cool for momentum boosting off of springs and things like that. There's like tons of speed you get here.
Yeah. Also, oh, I was gonna say something in general. I personally really like Hando because like boss RNG is not nearly as punishing that like in any percent, and also you get at least in my opinion a lot more runs, just because you need to compromise on some strats. For example, on this level, there's a really risky strat that you have to do on the second boost. So Kruncha just did the first one, which allowed him to keep a lot of speed. But here comes up the second one, which on any percent it's pretty much mandatory if you are going for record. But on Hando it's a lot more consistent. Although Kruncha can still go for a really hard boost.
Oh,
He's going for it.
Oh, he missed the letter! Oh!
Not the boost, but I missed.
Okay. So pretty much Kruncha went for a really risky strat.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try it one more time, and if I don't get it, then I'll probably just do super baby strats.
Aw.
The super baby.
Not the super baby. It's okay, we'll get it here.
Got it? Got it, nice.
There you go.
Yeah, I used like a small variation of that, which still is faster than the Ultra Baby. But it's really consistent. But for some reason, Kruncha died like 10 times doing it the other day, so I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, like as you saw to get the end, he had to actually do a really tiny pogo off the last platform.
Yeah,
but it's
and
pretty
he has
tough.
to actually, and he has to pull back as well.
Yeah,
at a really high speed, so that's of course really tricky.
It's just a really tough thing to do. A lot has to go into it.
Yeah, I don't blame him for quote unquote super baby strats because it is Hundo and
right. You could take some hits.
Yeah, if I were on any kind of pace right now, then I would probably just do super baby on that boost on 6.5.
Yeah.
I was thinking about using a DKS strat, but I feel since I died a couple times doing that, I figured if I'm gonna die, then I might as well just show off like the full.
Exactly. Just go for it.
Yeah.
So,
So
2 tries is not too bad.
okay, so Newbie talked earlier. Also, this level looks amazing as well. It's the level that is on the 90% route, and it's by far one of my favorites, at least aesthetically.
I think it's the only silhouette level in the 80% route too. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Did you get momentum off of that penguin?
That's okay. It happens.
Yeah, so Newbie was talking earlier about how you need 100 bananas to do a Kung Pao. That usually is not a big deal, but on this level and the next one, Kung Pao is actually useful as a backup. So I'm pretty sure Kruncha decided to go for a different backup for this soul grab. We'll see. Yeah, so you can get out of that part damageless, but it's really tricky.
Yeah.
So the backup for that is doing a Kung Pao. But if you mess up the next level, that means you will be basically screwed, but you won't have the ability to do that backup again.
Right. It's just kind of a choice you make to make sure the next level goes okay, because it's a lot more punishing to screw up the next one.
Like, and that's right. It's really precise. Like I got it like half the time, and I practice it a lot.
Right.
So actually, on my PB, I had to use the Kung Pao, and I regretted it like right away because I knew that on the next level, like I had no space for mistakes.
Oh no, I died!
Oh fuck! Yeah, that's waits like a minute. Oh shit! Nice, dude. How did you do that?
Amazing. Yeah. You even got me with that one. I was like, oh wait, okay, yeah. It's this level.
Okay, so pretty much what's happened there is that there's a barrel.
Oh, we're gonna explain, okay.
Yeah, you're supposed to wait for that barrel that goes all the way around and it uncovers itself from the snow. That turns out you can just get to it right away because it's always loaded, which is pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, if you want to talk about stressful levels, here you go.
Yeah, this level becomes more stressful again in 100%. The only way to get to the secret exit is with a partner, so.
And there's only barrel at the very beginning, so if I lose Dixie later in the level, then I will have to start over from the beginning.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Including load times of entering and exiting.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, I'm
you
pretty
have
sure that's
Kong
happened
Pao?
to all of us at some point. Like losing Dixie here.
Yeah,
I do have a Kong Pao in reserve if I need
the
it.
backup. That's good.
If I fall off a cliff or something, there's no recourse.
No,
I do
Exactly.
know that wasn't Cranky also a little bit faster in this level, but it's like you're insane.
in any percent, Cranky is faster, and it's
Yeah.
not actually that bad. It's generally accepted now as
Yeah.
the route is Cranky, but at 100% you don't use Cranky. You can't get the letters very well with Cranky.
No, actually you can. The thing is that overall, pretty sure it's still slower because 6A.
Oh, because of 6A, yeah, right. Going to the
Yeah.
next level.
On
Alright, that
6A, you really want Dixie instead of Cranky.
Right.
So they're pretty much at the same speed, but on 6A, there's basically no debate, so
Mm-hmm.
it's not worth it. But so yeah, Cranky is in terms of in terms of execution, it's not that hard, I guess, in my opinion. But it's a lot more punishing. Like you cannot recover from mistakes with a flutter like with
Right.
Dixie.
Yeah, you're just screwed to fall and die.
So the reason why we want Dixie on this level is because, well, this level's concept is actually pretty cool. It's you have to activate a bunch of like dynamite switches.
Explosions.
Yeah.
More explosions.
Someone wanted explosions, you got explosions here. One more
Yeah.
big explosion
Yeah.
level.
And later on this level, you will have to cross large gaps, which would otherwise you would have to wait for some platforms to fall, and that's really slow, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Here you can just mash through.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
It works out really well.
So we see vines here again. It's oh, you're fine. Okay.
So I'm off for this whole section.
Yeah.
Alright, back on track.
That's okay.
Yeah, should be fine.
Little secret passageway there to skip having to wait for the explosion to remove the stalactite.
Yeah, that's pretty cool by the developers. That clearly intended. And this is the section with Dixie saves a bunch. You'll have to otherwise wait a lot of time for those platforms to fall off due to the explosions. And Cranky cannot possibly do that.
Yeah.
Oh, he's pretty much on the clear.
Yep.
Nice.
There's nothing else to do here. Just wait. There's all the explosions at the end. Beautiful.
Okay, the 6B I'd say is a really unique level in my opinion.
Yes, it is.
It feels really different from all the other levels in the game, because you need to stop, you need to do specific bobs. There is grass that you need to grab to. There are cannons. Like, it uses a bunch of different mechanics,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure Kruncha has opted to use Dixie all the way.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I'm gonna go for that.
yeah. But you can potentially use Cranky. That it's kind of the same speed for this level, but obviously it's a bit riskier.
Yeah.
And you have to grab him like back there. Okay, that hit is gonna make things a little bit tricky later.
Not so great.
Yeah, it may be forced to solo DK for a little while, but
Yes,
hopefully.
because
We're doing some intended strats here to compensate.
Yeah.
Right.
oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit risky.
So there's a walrus coming up ahead that it can pretty much hit you. It's really hard to avoid that hit. We'll see if he gets it or not. Nice, he avoided it.
That's great. Yeah, that's super hard.
Yeah. So if he had gotten hit there, this section would be a lot worse. But since he had Dixie, he can skip all of that.
Yeah.
Which is pretty nice.
Yeah, solo DK has to do it pretty much exactly as intended and climb up all the vines and do it very slowly. You can skip some barrels.
Yeah. Also, that J grab is pretty cool.
Yep.
I don't
Right
know
back in the
who
same barrel.
And yeah, so you can't actually get to that golden barrel right away. You need to tilt that last platform a bit.
Yeah, it swings or it goes back and forth wherever you're standing
Yeah.
on it. So wait a sec to tilt it backwards a little to get you some extra height on the right side.
Okay, so that was pretty good, and there are only letters to get on 6-8. On this level, well, pretty much. Well, some people can, I guess, like the design or the concept or whatever, but
Who
to
likes it?
run it, yeah, to speed run it is really. I don't want to say disgusting, but yeah, it's really just
That's pretty close.
because it basically mixes up all the mechanics that we do not want. Like,
Right.
it's Rambi plus waiting plus ice physics without boosts,
Yeah.
plus more waiting and so on.
There's lots of waiting. Yeah, the platforms don't fall down immediately, so you have to stand there until they do.
Yeah,
Visually
plus
and the design overall of it is really cool. It's just, as a speedrun, it's just kind of, it breaks the flow, you know?
Right.
yeah, and basically you're at the end of the speedrun and you just want to go. You can't.
Yeah.
Also, not to mention that whoever has played this game knows that Rambi is a lot chunkier than Donkey. So him mixed with ice physics is a lot tougher to control than it looks.
No, heck. Either you come to a direct stop or you keep moving forward with Randy. There's no, like, trying to slow down or...
No.
no.
Yeah,
He's got
exactly.
two speeds, on and off.
Yeah. And most of the
Pretty
time
much.
you just want on with Rambi, but this level forces you not to do that.
Also, it's not like flat ice. It's ice that is tilted. So even if you are like standing still, you still like are moving quite a bit.
Right.
It's not like the other ice levels.
Nice end grab.
Yep. I like that one.
Looked a little bit
Tilt
low.
upward.
Almost charged straight into lava, which I found on a run before.
Yeah, the letters are nice and smooth in this level, though. You don't really have to stop or anything to get them.
Alright. All we got is
Good level.
K level.
That's right. All the Kong letters are done.
Yep. So to do
the
a couple.
model is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because once you get the last level in World 6 and unlock World 7, you get warped directly to World 7. So even though the K level has unlocked now, and we've done all the other K levels before the bosses, we're actually going to go ahead and beat Frederick right now. Because that way we only have to backtrack once. We don't have to go back to 6K and then go back up to 6 boss again. We're just going to have to make the trip, one-way trip back to 6K and then be warped directly to World 7.
Exactly.
Right.
So Frederick, oh god.
Yep.
This guy, well, it's a pretty basic concept as a boss, I guess. You just have to knock him down while he's on the background, and then there are 3 phases, and you have to bop him in his back 3 times each phase. But the thing is that his hitbox is, I wanna say, really messed up, but is basically just like reduced to his shoulder pads.
Yeah, it's super tiny. Smaller than you'd expect.
Yes, so I personally I have to practice like really like specific stuff like to get this guy consistent, because you just sometimes miss him for no reason.
Yeah.
Like
And as he runs across, later on in the fight, he gets faster and faster.
exactly.
And that makes it even harder, and then he makes the ground ice even harder. So it doesn't make it easy.
Yeah, it's really kind of crazy for such a big guy. He's got really tiny hitbox.
Yeah. I think this boss casually took me multiple days, and I swore I would never speedrun this game. Yeah.
I forgot
that reminds me of that reminds me of certain video.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay. So let's talk about early throws. So early throws, also known as NK throws, not really, but whatever. Basically, you can hit him on the background like 4 seconds earlier each time, which is a huge deal. But it's really tricky to get. We are, as far as I know, not 100% sure that it in fact has some RNG to it, or if it doesn't. But it's really important to get them for a good fight. Like I said, it saves like 4 seconds each, so a huge deal.
Yeah, they're trickier on some throws and easier on others.
Yeah, I'd say so. Also, there's another portion of RNG, which is for sure, I mean 100% RNG, which is the number of jumps, almost, and the platform pattern, which I'm not sure which one he got.
He got the slow pattern,
Oh, slow, okay.
but yeah, that's probably
I
the least of the
Yeah.
RNG worries right now.
I can tell by the music. Okay, so
Nice
he got
fight.
949.
Perfect.
The important thing on that fight is to get the 949. Missing any hit is a huge time loss.
Yeah. Right now he's just gonna go ahead and reset the game because yeah, after you beat that boss, you watch a very long credit sequence.
Yeah, by skipping and going back into the game now, it's just loaded as the boss is beaten, and you don't have to watch the credits, and you're still in World 6. So that's why we do this.
Yeah. So in the meantime, while we are waiting for the game to load up, because it does have a bit of a lengthy load time, I would like to make a quick announcement to help incentivize you guys to help us reach a new goal. If we can get to $4,500 total raise for the marathon, we're going to let BGG do the glitch showcase for Earthbound.
Yo, nice. Okay, so as you can see there, well, if you get it, Kruncha now has a 93% completion, which just comes to, I guess, prove that you don't need any like collectibles like figurines or puzzle pieces.
Yeah. and there's like 4 levels left.
Mhm.
So, yeah, each level accounts for, I guess, more than 1%.
Yeah, some levels
One
is
point
2,
something.
some are 1.
Yeah.
Also, these are the slowest clouds in the history of video games.
Holy cow, the clouds forever.
Alright, we made it through.
I always get really cold looking at those clouds.
Okay, 6K was like severely cheesed with items.
It was so free. Yeah.
Like, it was incredibly cheesed. Like the people used to keep 2 banana juices, and what that gives you is invulnerability for 20 seconds or something. I'm not
Yeah.
sure exactly.
15-20 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, so you can use that to. You can see this is the only level that has these purple spikes on the bottom, and you can use that to basically damage boost across the second half of the level. Easy,
Yeah, it
easy.
was super easy and free.
Yeah.
And
now
so
you
fun.
have to. Now you have to do it like I don't know, like a speedrunner.
Yeah, you have to be good now.
Yeah.
So good at
Okay,
intro
he
section.
was a bit slow there, but maybe he can still make it. He have to get hit by the owl. It's gonna be nice.
Okay, so
So
made it.
the backup for that banana juice is the Kung Pao. Although you can skip it, I prefer to use it just because that section where Kruncha used it is insanely difficult to do it without taking a hit.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. You have to bop off the ice fish, which is really tricky, and you have to do a really specific pattern for the hover, for the Dixie Flutter. I mean, and even if you get it, you can still get hit by the spinning purple thing.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting it's super hard to do with solo DK. There's
Exactly.
no way to save anything. You can take extra hits, and you could probably die.
So
And
with,
yeah,
yeah, so with the Kung Pao, you get rid of the tough guy, and it's easy peasy from there.
Alright,
yeah,
with
about cost 1 second. So
anyways, with that we have the final world unlocked. The final world consists of 3 stages.
I love World 7. I think they're awesome stages.
Oh, they're great stages.
Yeah, and fun fact: for some time, Kruncha had % of the world records on this world, which is pretty amazing.
Yep.
So yeah, he had 2 out of the 3 ones.
Oh no, I died.
Oh no! Wait, is this a solo block? What?
What?
I didn't know about this.
There I am.
Oh!
What? Oh my god, I didn't know that. That's
Swag.
so cool.
Oh, I'm so glad you didn't know about that.
I had no idea.
Did you
The
know?
platform is just there. Wow, you got me.
He hasn't been super active in Hundo for a while, but he put in a lot of
Yeah.
work in the early days.
Newbie with this game is like a love and hate thing.
Yeah,
It's really complicated.
we don't talk about it. It's complicated. That's really cool though, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Goldfish or Moon who found that. But it's really freaking cool.
Yeah, Kruncha, Goldfish says hi, thanks for doing that trick. He's in chat right now. He just showed up in time for that. That's great.
Yeah, so a little bit of safety strats at the end, especially with 1 heart on Dixie, because that last barrel that was a barrel, or at the beginning of the level, sorry. The barrel at the beginning of the level is the last barrel we'll see for the game, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when Kruncha was the resting for this marathon, he did 7-1, but he did a pretty solid 7-1, but he did like all the IL strats. So I was like, what are you doing? You have to take care of Dixie. Because pretty much the next 2 levels suck without Dixie.
Yeah,
I mean, 7-2 is fine, but it's really dangerous.
it's
That
cool with
7
Dixie too.
Yeah, But 7-3 is a lot harder and a lot slower.
Mm-hmm. This is the last technical auto scroller.
Yeah, it's cool as well because it has both types of auto scroller, and it's not entirely an auto scroller world. I mean level. It has auto scroller sections.
That's
Like here, the minecart one.
And they're just fish floating in the air. So that's
Yeah.
pretty-
Yeah,
no big deal.
because logic.
Hey, the last game we had a world that had fruit and bananas everywhere.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I
you've
didn't-
never
I-
seen the 100% level for
Yeah, I
returns?
didn't. Nobody runs 100% returns. What? There are like 3 runs ever.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so here is the like I said the rocket barrel part. So like I said, it mixes the 2 types of outer scroller. And Kruncha likes to get hit and scare people. This last section is pretty sweet though. It works out pretty well.
Yeah.
You still have to land on really small platforms. No course of the golden banana this time.
No, not this time.
Yeah, 7-2 seems like the easiest of the World 7 levels, like casually, but for some reason it tends to be the toughest one in speedruns.
I still really love all the World 7 levels because they're difficult, yes, but they're just so fun and creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you can argue that they use the same track for each level, but I like it a lot. So for me, it's not a big deal. And also, I think it works really well with the level designs.
Mm-hmm. This is probably my favorite level.
It's
In
so
World 7.
cool.
It's great. There's tons of momentum. There's tons of like cool jumps and tricks.
And they introduce a lot of new stuff, like those clouds, like
Yeah.
the rockets.
Stuff you'll never see again.
Yeah. And on the very last level, like
Yep.
they went all in.
Yep. Skip the puzzle piece. Nice.
Okay, pretty smooth so far. This level I'd say is not really difficult, but it really gets tougher over the level progresses.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also-
over time, I guess.
You've been playing the game for 3 hours, and it's kind of wearing on you at this point. So this is
Exactly.
what makes the level harder. Is the...
Yeah, and if you're in PvP base, you kind of wanna go fast, but you wanna play it
Right.
safe and don't die. So
Right. That's what
It's-
makes this
it's-
level much harder.
yeah, it's a weird feeling.
Especially in a
Nice.
platformer that's this long. Yeah, that's good.
Very difficult platform to this long.
Also, this looks scary as shit,
So much for
Whoa.
you.
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
but it's really consistent.
Yeah.
Nice! Alright, get ready on time.
Yeah, so
Let's
when
do
the message pops up that says we unlocked hard mode, decided that 100% ends.
Easy underestimate.
And time.
GG.
Nice.
Nice, man.
I got a 247.47.
Alright, cool.
That's great.
Almost cut the newbie.
What's my? I don't even know what my time is.
Uh,
247. I don't know.
27.
47. Oh, you're
Right,
your
oh.
PB.
So 47, 27.
Oh yeah, nice. Good stuff, Kruncha.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to
Great job,
everyone.
man.
Yeah, this is, I'm sure, like the longest run I'll ever get into a marathon. Yeah, I know that anything over 2.5 hours is a pretty good chunk of time to invest. So yeah, thanks very much. I'm really really happy to do it, and yeah, I guess that's about it.
Yeah, boy, it's still a lot of fun. I love this game to death. And I got some great news for you guys that enjoy more Dong or Kong. Sorry, I'm not the first person to make that
Oh,
mistake.
God.
You know it.
So if you like Dong, stay tuned.
At your own marathon.
Right. We got Donkey Kong 5. Yes, I said that correctly that time. 5.
Technically, this is Donkey Kong Country 5. Also, Tropical Freeze.
But it's
This one coming up is The Journey Over Time and Space.
The journey of overtime and space.
Even better.
I've seen the preview. You guys definitely don't want to miss that one. It's something. That is a game.
All right, guys, stick around. We're gonna run a quick ad, and yeah, see you in a bit.
Yeah, bye everyone.
See ya.
See ya.
You should be good to cut the stream now.